Welcome to the Stretch Run. I'm your host, Justin Sampson. I got my good guy, Michael Oldham, aka Oldy, here. We're going to be live with all of you the next 3 hours. Big day, Del Mar opening day. You know, the fall meet. We got Gulfstream Park, Golden Gate Fields. We'll cover live. We're going to do some weekend preview handicapping, a few stakes races. We got Woodbine with a couple tomorrow. We'll go through those and just hang out with all of you. We're really looking forward to it. We've been excited for this. And if you didn't see my Twitter handles on my name below, there's a tweet pinned to my Twitter. If you follow a couple instructions, I'm giving away 10% of a Pk5. You got to follow Oldy. You got to follow me. You got to follow EquinEdge, and you got to retweet. Oldy, how we doing, brother?
Doing great, Justin. Glad to be here again. Enjoying the stretch run to my week here.
I know it's Friday. That's why I love it. I love this. We are just like ending the week, midday here on the Pacific Coast. I know you're in early afternoon, but headed into the weekend. Like, great Breeders' Cup last weekend. How's the week been, though?
Week's been pretty good. Just, much like you, I think just running our kids back and forth places and doing the regular thing. Nothing special this week, but looking forward to a good weekend of horse racing and relaxing and some football. And then my daughter has a competition in Madison, Wisconsin on Sunday as well.
Nice. That's exciting. I don't have the kids this weekend, but they start basketball on Monday, which is I'm pumped. They are excited too as well.
Sweet.
All right, let's jump in. We're gonna cover Gulfstream here for a bit, then we'll talk some stake racing on the weekend. Then West Coast will start. We're going to cover late Pk5 here at Gulfstream. We got 20 minutes. I think I'm like, what ticket do I want to give away? And, what percent? And yeah. I'm not quite sure yet. I might do two, to be honest. I might just give a little bit of Gulfstream and a little bit of Golden Gate, but we'll see. Let's start with the Pk5 here. Why don't you, I have your ticket here. Why don't you start here? Leg one, we'll talk through it. Your single comes through. I know in a maiden race. Yep. I do like that race, and I like your single. I get it in race 7. But why don't you start us off here in race 5 with this maiden special?
All right, so we have this maiden special weight. It's 5.5 furlongs on the synthetic. I know, some people don't love the synthetic at Gulfstream. I think it plays pretty fairly. And so I'm using the Top Scotty, the number 1, who's the Cassie horse. Not a great GSR. It's a first-time starter. Cassie does really well with first-time starters. So that's the reason I think the win percentage is so high. He could have run this horse at Woodbine, chose to run it here. And, that makes me think the horse is live as well. I also use the 3, who is second Scotty, and top win percentage, and it's also Zayas and Antonio Sano, and they're a 21% combination. High GSR, 64 GSR, one of the higher ones in this race. Looks like it's getting bet a little bit too. It's being bet closer to the E morning line, so that makes me think that it's probably pretty live. And as well, the 8, whose second win percentage, 17% with, second time starter, top SOR as well. And on the 8, that's Luca Panici. That's an 11% combo. I think that horse is going to run pretty well. And as well, I added the 9, who's a D'Angelo horse. 16% first-time 16% with first-time starters, 17% with Jaramillo. I also really, if you drill into the horse, I also really like the works. There's an excellent gate work. There's a good turf work in there, and there's some good dirt works as well. So this horse seems to, both by GSR and by work, seems to be pretty flexible in terms of what surface it's on. So those were the 4 that I chose to use there.
Yeah, sprinter here. Top GSR number 2 is 5.5. So our tickets are different singles, which is fine. Let me put mine in here and I should pull it up here in 1 second. So I singled in the second leg, but in the first leg here, I think we're fairly close. Yeah. So I added the 12 who, I don't know if I would have added this horse, but I did see a little bit of discussion on Cumberland Falls. Ends up being the EquinEdge long shot as well. But there was some discussions on Cumberland Falls I saw on Twitter a little bit. Was really, the horse racing community on Twitter can be interesting to follow at times, but is really why I added here. But I'm with you. I do think, this one is taking no money, none. Like,
yeah,
this is definitely when we get to the race here, and then we'll jump to leg 2. But when we watch this first race, I think there's a potential play here on the one for sure. Is probably the pace of the race sure here. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. We're gonna say something.
Well, and looking at the 12, the 12's getting bet, which
yeah, for sure. I mean, taking a ton of money. I was going to
say the 12's getting bet, and the 12 is the long shot.
Yeah. First time. Is that first time starter too?
I'm wondering why, because but Kent Sweeney's only has 4 winners out of 100 races. He's 4 for 100 with first time his last 3 years worth of first time starters. So for me, that's why I didn't use it.
Yeah, could be vulnerable. I'm with you there, and I like the speed on the synthetic sprinting. I like people on the front end, really do. I don't like closers. Oh, is it? Oh, it's in my racehorse, Chuck. That's why. Cool. Let's jump to leg 2. I'm singling the 8. Oldy, let me talk about the 8, and then I'll jump back to your ticket here. I think the 6, I don't know if this horse can run off, to be honest. It is that EquinEdge long shot. Pace of the race, get a morning line angle. My concern is this horse has been stopping at this level in 52s and 54s and 50s. A horse added blinkers last out. I believe I thought that I had saw that. Maybe that was a different horse, but this horse has been a different horse. So the A horse has been racing it just much higher, 29% to win, which is about double the win percents that it has been racing at. The extra, kind of furlong and shift over the dirt, I think is a positive here. You pick up Jaramillo on Ant Nadine, the top EquinEdge pick. I think that this horse can sit right off the speed of the 8. I think we'll be close and has been racing at this level. So for me, it was a little bit tough to find a single later on. So I went here. I do think the 6 potentially could wire here, though. I think is dangerous, but would love to hear your perspective here, Oldy.
Yeah, I looked at this as there was either 2 ways to play this race. You either use the 8 and the 3 or you spread here. And I started digging a little deeper into it and felt that the 6 had a shot here. The 1's top GSR, so the 1 was interesting here. And the 1 has had some success at this distance as well.
Yep.
So that horse was interesting. I used the ticket generator once I selected my single and my other narrow leg, which was leg 8, race 8. So, it chose as well that I should spread here rather than going all in the last race or using more horses in race 5. And, that's one of the powers of the ticket generator as well, is to help you make those decisions. I do think that the 3's got a decent chance here. The 3 is second Scotty, second win percentage, top SOR, and right there with the E morning line with the 8 as well. The 8 does have a nice little value play on the morning line. It was not a horse that I think is bad chalk. I think it very well could win, so that's why I didn't toss it.
Yeah.
But I could see why you would single it here as well.
Yeah, and I actually, if you look at my notes up in the top right, just for viewers, you can always kind of see there. I may forget to kind of talk about things, but I always kind of keep my notes up here. And, we see this race very clear. I thought the 1 could win, the 3 could win. Yeah. But as I broke it down, I loved, Jaramillo got off the 6 here. Jaramillo traditionally does great on the lead at Gulfstream.
Yep.
That was a play for me because, and the 6 had been stopping. So I mean, like, okay, Jaramillo's going to be close here though. And I like that. And, I think the question will be, can this horse rate is going to be the main question. And that was why I did worry a little bit, but we'll see. I think to your point, I'm spreading here if I don't single, because I think the 1 can win. I think the 3,
Yeah.
the 4, but I tried to say, well, I like the whole sequence. This is the horse that I thought had the greatest chance. I think to your point of the morning line helped me a little bit too. I love that we have that. I think that the 1, Daniel, for sure. I totally agree with you. I mean, top GSR win percent is increasing here. It's been very low, gets to 12% now. I love to see that. Cutting back from 6 or from 7 to 6, has been racing great at the surface and distance. My big knock was only has 2 wins. That was my concern on the 1, and is with the 8 maybe could improve. But yeah, I'm with you. I can see the reason to spread.
One other note on the 1 is that it's getting the apprentice jockey there, so it's getting the weight break as well.
Yeah, for sure. Torres. Yeah, good call. All right, your single comes in leg 3, race 7.
Yeah, so for me, this horse screams single. I know it's a maiden special weight, and some people shy away from doing that in those type of races. But top SOR, going back to sprint from routing, ran much better 2 back at 7 furlongs in a non-graded stakes race, and this is much easier company. I think that this horse should have no problem taking it to this group, and I would not be surprised to see this horse win by open lengths here.
Yeah.
Top E, top win percentage, top SOR, all the things that you would look for in a single for the system to be screaming single for you here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw Guardian Angel. I think the horse is, if it wins, I'm guessing it is going to win by multiple lengths. I'm with you. I mean, has been in 2 very tough stakes races and ran really well 2 back, bobbled and was basically, it's going to really struggle there. The thing here is, you see a little bit of a drop in GSR. This horse maybe wants to go 2 turns over sprinting. But to me, I don't, that's okay. It's going to be close to the lead. I mean, is a young horse still trying to figure it out as a 2-year-old filly here. I was trying to beat this horse was the main thing. Could I find a way to beat the 4 here? I really thought that the 3 was interesting. You have Miguel Vasquez jumps aboard. I love him at Gulfstream, as many know, when the big jocks are away, at New York or in California or wherever they're, Kentucky, wherever, and the championship meet, hasn't started, so they haven't returned. But, I thought that for David Fox that Miguel Vasquez could really improve here jumping aboard. I think from a trainer jockey standpoint, 22%, GSR, good at 66. I thought the 3 might run. I also added the 6 here. Actually, I'm going to change something. I'm changing this to the 5, and it might hurt me, but I just caught so the 5, I likes top GSR and type GSR for the horse. Vasquez jumps off the 5, but you do get Edgar Zayas. You have a morning line angle here, only 3%. But that's okay. I'm taking this as a long shot here, and I have the 3 as the EquinEdge long shot. It sometimes really can hurt me when I leave out the second EquinEdge pick. That can be tough, but I do think the 6 is a player. It's increasing, trainer jockeys 24% for Perez, for Jose D'Angelo. Like, this horse's second time out can improve. But I'm saying the 4 might win by open lengths, to your point. If it doesn't, I think we can get a price in the 3 or 5.
Okay. Makes sense. And, my only issue with the 3 is the horse seems one pace to me and doesn't want to pass horses. So he might actually need the lead.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, and it not going to get the lead here. And, right. I think, it had a tough post here. I do like seeing Vasquez get aboard, although Jaramillo is an aggressive jockey as well, but No, I'm tracking with you. I could see that.
Yeah.
And it may just lead to your 4, to be honest, right? I could really see that. Chris, I think to your comment, and then we'll jump to leg 4. We got about 8 minutes to post, so I want to make sure. And I think on GSR, all it would prove for me there is that horse in race, what race was that? I think that was race 6. It likes that surface and distance. So for anything, that's what the GSR would tell me. Back here on the one horse is that, if you look at lifetime on the GSR, the horse has 2 wins and 4 thirds. So to your point, it's raced 20 times. You don't necessarily get a lot of angles there, but it does tell us that both wins for that horse has come at that surface and distance, would be my comment. So leg 4, Oldy, you went too deep here, the 1 or 2. Tell me about it.
So to me, this race screams these 2 horses. Combined between the 2, you have top Scotty, second Scotty, top win, second win, tied for top SOR, top E morning line, second E morning line, all within 2 horses. And just when you get those top 2 Scotties and top 2 wins agreeing, that's like a 66% proposition, and I'll take that risk here. And then you add in the other factors, and it probably raises that a little higher. And I just figured this is the right spot to take that risk, so I can spread elsewhere on the same budget.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I totally agree with you, to be honest. I don't like either one of these horses going 2 turns on the lead here, the 4 or 9. The 2 could sit the trip right off the speed and, be there. And then in addition, you have the 1 who's going to be coming late because the pace could be a little bit hot here. I like horses, again, mid-pack off the lead, going 2 turns. I'm with you. I think it's a good play to go too deep. I almost did the same thing. I'm not adding the EquinEdge long shot here in the 11, but I did add the 3 and I added the 5. I think that the 3 I'm just taking as kind of a bomber here. You have Luca Panici at 21%, potential to try to blow up the ticket a little bit. I do like the 5 horse, though, quite a bit. You have a big morning line angle here. You have Jaramillo, who hits at 44%. So the thing here about the 5, actually, this horse is coming off a layoff is the big concern. But when you look back here, I mean, this horse won in a 56 going 2 turns on the turf, and had been running, fairly well here. Jaramillo rides back. Jaramillo's 2 for 2 on, was it Britiz? And has, been facing open company versus tough horses. This is kind of a state bred allowance today. So there's a lot of horses coming out of open company, but I thought this horse was interesting from a price, was my kind of angle here.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk. We got 5 minutes. Let's talk last leg here. You were spread. I was spread to some extent. Let me know your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. I think this was a spread leg. The 9 to me is really interesting here. Good first time starter percentage there. I think has a really decent shot here coming from the outside. It's a 12% with first time starters, 20% at over a mile there with debuting at over a mile. So that's a horse I really like there. But I didn't like anything here enough to go narrow. And this was one of the reasons why I wanted to spread. The 1's really interesting, even though it's a low GSR. The 3 has a nice E morning line angle on it. So does the 7. And, some of the horses I really liked here as well got scratched. So it put me in a position of, well, do I want to go narrow with some horses I didn't love? Or do I want to go and really attack this with a spread? And to me, the 3 at top E morning line could win. Has a big advantage on the morning line angle, but I wasn't sold that I want to finish my ticket that way, if that makes sense. 5 could go gate to wire as well. There's not a lot of other speed here. In most situations, and the 5's also your top win percentage. And a lot of times when I find when the win percentage and the top E picks don't match, that those are good races to spread in.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you here. So I was 1-3-5-9. You know, I really liked the 5, to be honest. Top win, top pace. I thought this horse might get an easy lead. As I've said, I don't love horses going 2 turns that are kind of on the lead. With that said, if a horse can wire, I do. And I think that the 5 potentially here with Miguel Vasquez could, you know, first time synthetic as well, you know, has raced twice, gets over to the synthetic, you know, and should like the synthetic. I don't see any concerns there. I like your comment on the 9 as a first time starter. And, you know, and then I also had, you know, the 1 was a first time starter with Zayas, and then the 3, you know, similar. So there's my ticket. How much time do we have? Let's look here.
You got 2 minutes to post, according to my screen.
Let's I'm gonna punch this ticket because we're gonna do the drawing here. So I had 8 in the second leg, 3, 4, 5 in leg 3. Again, if you hit my Twitter, you all, like, you got to follow Oldy and EquinEdge and retweet, but I'm giving away 10% to 3 people here. And you don't have to be watching. So some people might win that aren't even watching.
Maybe next time you should add that criteria.
Yeah, I mean, I see, you know, it's like good visibility. All right. So this is called Twitter Picker.
Am I the only one who can't hear Justin right now? Is it my internet?
No, it muted me when I took my AirPods out. So now you guys can hear. So it's Twitter Picker. It's just an algorithm. All you do is put in the tweet. So, you know, I'm going to go grab this and update this real quick. And we're going to have 3 winners. Drop that in there. Loads it up. Looks like we had, we're going to pick 3 people. You had to follow the 3 of us and you had to retweet. So then you go to entries and it shows them all. It shows, you know, everybody on here. And then we go to continue again. And we'll just begin the draw.
Yeah.
Oh, it says 1 winner. Hold on. Let me go back.
Is there something?
I think this will work. If we have to do 3 separate, that's okay. I don't know what this means. I haven't done this in a bit, but we don't have to do that. We'll just do this. So Linda D, WABBN, and then Fatman 548.
And, you know, Linda, I know she's in a bunch of the group chats that we do.
Okay. So it looks like D Dollar Crypto is not following you, and Jay's not following. So missed the criteria there.
Jay's going to be beside himself.
All right, there's our winners. I think I'm gonna do it again. I might do it for all 3 tickets.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna make that bigger. Should be able to see. I'm trying to flip over on my other screen to Twitter. Yeah, DQ, Jeff, for sure. Let me know if that video, I see the video dropped on my other screen. Can you still see it, Oldy?
No, it's completely dark. Now it's back.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
And the horses crossing over onto the all-weather Tapeta course, going to be making their way towards the starting gate for race number 5.
I'll pull it back in 1 second.
Last call to wager.
Well, we'll watch this race. I'm going to post a tweet. Did it come back?
It did, yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
I don't know what's going on, but
yeah, I'm trying to
arriving at the gate.
do it on a second monitor screen, but it, for some reason keeps pulling that off.
2-year-old fillies, maiden special weight events. They're on the
so I'm
course. They're going to be traveling the about distance of 5.5.
You're 1389. Was I 138912?
Taking the late money right now.
Right, you're 138912. Correct.
Bella with
okay.
jockey Edgar Dias.
1389.
Number 9, Strike Jack. 5-2 in the wagering is the second choice currently with Amisael Jaramillo. And Cumberland Falls, who was the early.
So that early money that went in on the 12.
4-1 third choice on the board.
It looks like most of the money that went in on the 12 that didn't continue that way.
Well, and somebody said that was a My Race horse, right? So they always take tons of early money.
Yeah, I know. I know Coach Stephen Guerin is a My Racehorse guy, I believe, too.
Oh, okay.
So I saw him posting something about that this week.
Yeah, 8 would be nice, Kevin.
Bella joins the line. They're still working with number 8, Super Tropical. Here comes For the Thrill. One of the long shots here. Kevin Krieger aboard. For the Thrill goes into line.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Strike Jack is stepping up. Here comes Luna Tuna as well.
I feel like I've been hit by a rash of gate scratches recently too.
Yeah, as a owner, that's got to be tough. I don't know if I've owned 3 horses, and I don't know if I ever had a gate scratch. But you see that, and it's just got to be brutal. Show up to the track all excited, right? Like, and then never a good thing to see a horse scratch at the gate because likely something happens, and yeah, it's tough whether you're playing or as an owner.
Well, I'm sure as an owner too, because it's your investment too, and it's an animal. You don't want to see it get hurt.
They're still working with Strike Jack. And right now the rider
I wonder if there's a reason.
9 Strike Jack.
I was going to say, if they're not showing us what's going on, that's usually not a good sign.
Are they still trying to load the 8?
No, the 9.
Oh, okay.
The 9 was the one that kind of reared up a little bit too.
Yeah. The jock's off, if that's the jock on the 9.
Yeah, and they're not showing it, which usually...
They're going to see if Strike Jack will go in without the rider. They're still working with number 9 as the loading process continues here for race 5.
Oh. Hey, Eric, thanks for joining. Everybody, we appreciate you guys tuning in, the support, kind of debut show, but round 2, right? But it's Oldy and I were really excited to get to, keep this going and appreciate you all joining in.
And to everybody watching too, it's going to be just about every Friday at this time. So if you show up at 1 o'clock Central or whatever it is your time, 2 o'clock Eastern, we will be starting the show and kicking off most likely at Gulfstream and moving from there. So please, just keep tuning in. We are going to have some marketing campaigns and some other interesting stuff behind this. We're going to engage, as I engage with the community anyways, because I am a member of the overall E community. I'm very accessible on Twitter. So is Justin. In a bunch of group chats as well. So if you want to talk horses or want to talk anything you hear on here as well, give us a shout out and we're happy to talk to you. And
We're still working with number 9
met some great people this way as well.
Less than cooperative.
I'm surprised that the line and the 9 has not floated up, to be honest. If I was I don't know. I never liked this at all. I don't know if I'd pull this ticket from my Pk5, but if I had a win bet or anything, I would have pulled my money on this horse already. It looks like finally went in, so that's good news.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised that there was not any cancellations either. Let's see what happens when the jock gets back on and see if he...
Here comes Luna Tuna and Cumberland Falls to complete the line.
Cumberland Falls end up at?
Cumberland Falls to the outside.
Wow,
and
look at that
they're
5.
off and running.
This is the 9.
Start for Great
Caught
Analogy.
a whole shot,
Got
absolutely.
Last. Up toward the front, it is Luna Tuna with speed toward the inside. And up on the outside, challenging that lead is Strike Jack, who was away quickly, didn't really want to go into the gate, but he was fast coming out of the
all
gate.
our horses are up there.
The lead as they race down the backstretch.
You don't have to 12.
Strike Jack and Amisao Jaramillo with the
Nope.
lead. Cumberland Falls moves
Come
up
on,
the
8.
outside.
8's
Stalking
price.
now from second. Luna Tuna.
I know, we want the 8.
As they round the far turn.
9's running really well, though. He's not even, I don't think, really asking.
He's not even asking. That's a hand ride right now.
Back to for the thrill and the slow starting Great
The
Analogy.
5 looks to have horse. He can't get out, though. He might get out here, though.
At the top of the stretch, Strike Jack has a short lead up on the
Yeah, but then he almost ran into the backside of the
between horses.
9. Come on, 8.
Down.
Come on, 8.
8's
hanging. 9. I don't think anybody's going to catch the 9.
It's going to be close. The 3's coming and the 9's stopping a little bit.
Strike Jack
well,
shout of the wire. Strike Jack.
Wow, that was
boom. Boom.
Yeah, very nice. I guess, like, don't cancel the bet when your horse doesn't load. Maybe the people knew that horse was just loaded.
Yeah. Well, that was the one that was 16% first-time starter. And, you know, I want to mention this as well, that those first-time starter percentages are factored into the win percentage as well.
Yeah, I think to your point, I'm sure that is a part of the algorithm and everything. I want to tweet this out real quick. Next time I'm going to have to prepare this. I don't have to spend the extra time. So who do we got? We got Linda D. I wonder, I might, Linda, Casa Daily.
Now let's see if I can.
So there's Linda. Congrats. CP. I can't remember who that is, but longtime EquinEdger. And then Fat Man 548.
Yeah. And I've talked to CP Stearns or Starnes a bunch of times on Twitter.
Oh, nice. Cool. And then I'm going to let me do this. My single is up next. So, and then we will crop this.
Carl Stearns. Okay. And Kevin's the fat. He's not Jake. He's the fat man. For those of you who remember the 1980s series. Dating myself there, even though I was a kid at that time.
All right, we're good to go. We're back. So, were we gonna start a little? Was this where we're gonna start weekend coverage?
Yeah, we were gonna talk the Maple Leaf Stakes here, the Grade 3 Maple Leaf Stakes.
Yeah, cool. I don't know. Oh, we got to go tomorrow.
Yep, exactly.
So we're going to start here. Woodbine race 7, Saturday tomorrow. We have the Grade 3, 150,000 Maple Leaf Stakes up at Woodbine. Great race, 10 furlongs on the synthetic. I thought this was a great field.
Yep.
Let's start here. Why don't you take us away here, Oldy, and let me know your thoughts on this race.
I thought this race was pretty wide open. My top pick here is the E long shot Money for Row. Slight advantage on the E morning line, 15% win, top SOR. My only question here is, whether he, so the last 4 races haven't been as good as his previous 4 races. So or her, I should say, previous 4 races. So those are my questions on this horse. If I was putting together a multi, this would not be a single for me, but it's a horse I really like here. I also felt that the 3 was my second choice, Charges Dropped. And that's 21% win. Mike McCarthy horse has had some success going a little shorter on the synthetic. And I think this horse has the right run style here to win. May have an issue a little bit with hanging. Just missed a couple times on the grass, got to the lead and then got caught a couple times. So, there are some reasons why I don't love this horse, but I think this horse is my second choice. And then I think the 7 could wire the field here. Top pace number, 12% win. The SOR is in line with this race. This horse is fast. It's just a matter of whether it can get the 10 furlongs here and be able to hold the lead. And that's a Kevin Attard horse too, and he's a high percentage trainer at Woodbine, and that's also the second pick. And then let me give you 2 bombers here. Number 1, the 4, who's actually I would describe as my third pick. There's 12-1 morning line, morning line 9-1. You look at some of these back races against better on the synthetic, and this horse looks like this horse should be competitive. And then there are some really sharp works in its work pattern as well that I like. So this Drexler horse, I think, has a real shot here. I'd be shocked if it wasn't 5-1 or below at post time. And then lastly, Justin, my real bomber, the 5 Dreidel. Big GSR jump, I think really wants the distance. Has raced relatively well against similar in its first couple starts, is lightly raced, so eligible to improve. And again, excellent works. Here is a Curlin horse. There's no reason why this horse couldn't at least get a piece, but I think this horse could bomb this whole race at 20-1 on the morning line.
Yeah, 5% to win too. I you did a great job. It's pretty funny. A lot of times do not align, but I'm with you on. You can see up in my notes. The 6 and 7 I think are both just legit players. I kind of flip flop on them both. 10. I'll talk about the 10 and 11, but I flip flop between the 6 and 7 on top here. To be honest, I do think, to your point, that the 7 could wire the field for Attard and Contreras. And Angelou, love the name. I looked at my note back here. It was a long time ago. I just said it was a so maiden special weight, but that was
but I think GSR also shows that horse wants synthetic, and it's been mostly running on the turf.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, definitely. It likely needs the lead. We'll get it. Stepping up, didn't run here, but I think this is for sure a player. I love the morning line angle too. Like, to me, you look at that. I mean, this shows a little bit wide open on a few of these horses, but I'm with you. Like, the 7 is a player. The 6 I think could be put on top too. I probably would put the 6 just like you, to be honest. I think it's been facing way tougher on the turf. Really has. Justin Stein continues to ride here for Attard as well. I mean, you could see a 6-7 exacted, but has been racing on the turf here in 74s and 76s and, at Woodbine. So I like seeing, this is at Woodbine still. It's not like these horses are shipping in down to the U.S. out of Canada or anything. This horse she has been racing up there. 16 starts, has hit the board 10 out of 16 times, has won a good chunk of money. I think, to your point, here, it's kind of like what happened, was on the rail, all of these, to be honest. I mean, that, that may not really like the rail. I mean, did run well here, but, so I like getting off of the rail here. You're going to have the 7 on the lead. I think the 6 could really sit a good trip here. You go all the way back here to about a year ago, and so almost a year ago to the day in both of these races, and you look, this horse was in much better form, but did win a 62 and a 74 stakes race. So, and was the favorite. And then, here, these may just be way too tough, to be honest. I think these are grade 1 and grade 2 races. And, it's the beauty of the SOR from EquinEdge. Really, I mean, a 10-point drop in SOR is pretty big. So I'm with you. I really like 6, 7. The only other horse, I agree with you on the 5 and the GSR increase. I wasn't sure that the 4 could rate. The 3 Charges Dropped. You talked a little bit about the 3. I don't know if Charges Dropped can step up in SOR. Maybe, we'll have to see. This horse has raced 16 times versus somebody like, Drydell has lightly raced and maybe can improve. The 10. So the top EquinEdge pick, right? Big morning line angle, 4-1 versus 12-1. Patrick Husbands here. Only 9% to win, but this horse is going to be coming off the lead. This horse will 100%, I think, hit the board. I think that Silent Causeway for sure is going to run a great race. You look back here, and this horse was able to sit off the speed on the synthetic, and then even on the turf. Here didn't run. Husbands gets back aboard. Stein jumps over on, it was the 6 or 7. So I think the 10 is a player too. But I'm with you. I really like the EquinEdge pick, the 6 here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Anybody have their own thoughts in the chat too? We'd love to hear your opinion here too.
Yeah, David says whoever has the best works or is coming in off the best races wins. I mean, if you look at SOR, the 6 is for sure getting the biggest drop in class here, dropping out of these grade 1, grade 2s. I mean, from a class perspective, that's the 6 in my opinion. The 5, has been racing versus tougher too, not necessarily running well. I mean, I'm with this horse may turn it around and trying to get back to the right level, right? I think it's a pretty insane allowance race to come through as a 70 where, as a grade 3, but very tough race, but is getting the drop here. I think that's necessary. This grade 3 is obviously coming back a little bit easier than here, but that's where I think the class could be tough here on the 6.
Well, and I think one other thing to mention here is the morning line favorite is the 9 horse. If you want to take a closer look at the 9, I'm sorry, it's the 11, but the second choice is the 9. But take a look at the 9. I think the 9's going to get over bet because it's and it's a Clement horse, so it's going to get over bet here. The horse is only 2 for 11 lifetime.
I mean, that GSR drop is huge. I mean, you not only see a drop from dirt grass to synthetic, this horse doesn't look like it really wants to go long. I mean, maybe if they were running at 8, maybe, but you see a drop from a 58 to a 46. And you look here, right? When we look on Handy View, I mean, has been running at, on the turf long, a much higher GSR. So, for whatever reason, gets just a big drop in GSR on the synthetic, which I'm with you. Like I'm a play against all day. Yeah.
And the other thing is, it's the Cairo Prince. And I don't really think of Cairo Princes as wanting to go this long. That I feel like 8.5, 9 furlongs is usually the top end on a Cairo Prince horse.
Yeah. And then somebody mentioned the 11, and then we'll jump to race 8 on Saturday, also at Woodbine, another stakes race. But the 11, Jose Ortiz is riding up here for Safi. I saw Safi had a few horses, but yeah, the 11 is Jose Ortiz. I think this horse is really going to have to improve. Was my concern. You do get a GSR drop as well off the turf onto the synthetic. My concern is this horse raced up here twice last year. in these allowance races right around the same time in 60s and couldn't win. So, I mean, my question would be on the 11 Transient is, can this horse really improve for Saffie, Joseph, and Jose?
And, I agree with you. I also think that, Saffie does not ship well outside of Gulfstream. He did win at Aqueduct, as I call it, since it was Belmont at Aqueduct. But, for the most part, he doesn't ship well either. This is an increase in SOR, so it's a harder field. He's got a slight GSR drop for going longer. I just, and the wide post too, I didn't love.
Yeah. All right. Let's jump tomorrow again up at Woodbine, race 8. We have the grade 2, 175,000 Vesiberian Stakes. I thought this was also a little more wide open even than the last race. But what were your thoughts here, Oldy?
I loved this race. So I think the 1 is a good favorite. I don't think it's bad chalk. But for the reason I just mentioned, this is the other, this is Jose Ortiz and Saffie again. This horse is proven on synthetic. There's no reason why this horse can't win this race. But this race is filled with horses that potentially could win, and you can find a better price elsewhere, even with that 7 to 5 morning line. So I like the 8 coming out of similar, but racing here at Woodbine, so not having to ship in. The 8's tactical. The 8 can take the lead or can sit right off and then just pounce. Proven at the distance. Proven against similar SOR, a little bit lower, but similar. The 3 as well. There's a lot of horses that really like to win here. The 3 has wins in grade 3s, has wins against similar SORs, wins at the similar distances. This is a really good horse. There's only one time the 3 has come out and not run. And then the 6 at 7 to 2 as well. I think the 6 is more likely a horse you're going to use in an exacta and is just going to miss, because the 6 seems to have a habit of doing that. Just missing, as well as the 5 is similar too. The 5, and the 6 is your top win percentage when I'm saying that too, at 31%. But, the 6 just seems to always just miss. Probably is a better grass horse than a synthetic horse as well. And, it's just a matter of whether the shorter distance can help it get there. The 5 as well. So I have a lot of horses I liked here, Justin. I'm going to have to narrow at some point, but the 5 was a horse that I think is going to be overbet. Has raced really well against some of these, but always seems to just hang and just miss. I have a note on this horse that it's a hanger. And then my bomber here is the 4. And, the 4 has been racing in grade 3, grade 2, non-graded stakes races as well. And, should probably be like 5-6 to 1 based on its success on the grass and coming really close in synthetic. So the 4, I think there's significant value to here as well, even though it's only 3%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not surprised you like a lot of horses.
I mean, these were great races, and I think they're going to be good betting races.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on the 1. I think this horse is probably, can win for Saffie, Jose. It's only 15% is the top EquinEdge pick, though. Top GSR, so for sure can definitely run in RD's Princess. My concern here is just it's a step up in class, and I mean there's some other horses here that are real runners. Yep. There's a lot of winners here though. This is going to be a great grade 2 race. I like the 3 a lot here. Hazelbrook. I like there's a lot of speed in this race was my main thing. I think the pace is going to be pretty hot here, going 7 furlongs. You know, Hazelbrook here, 15% is the second EquinEdge pick, has raced really well at this level. You spoke to this. I mean, this horse is a true winner, man.
Yep.
6 wins and 9 tries at, you know, in stakes races, has won a grade 3, you know, stepping up here to grade 2, but has 2 wins in grade 3s, you know, in a 76 and a 70. You know, I wasn't a huge fan of before I get to the 6, you know, Beyond My Budget. I love the name here of the 5. I thought this horse could really run a good trip. I really did. It does need to improve, though. Does get a lot of second places. I think this horse could definitely be a play in verticals for Cassie and Carol. You know, has been racing in form, 4th off the layoff. You know, I has raced well here really in this last grade 3 race. I didn't love necessarily the 6. I did think was a player for sure is going to like the move to synthetic. It looks like it missed here in a 68, you know, at Woodbine after running really kind of down in the U.S. on the turf predominantly. So, yeah, is a player. 7, I think, is too big of a jump. You know, you talked a lot about the 8 and the 9. You know, the 8 Loyalty, you know, lightly raced, 4 wins and 5 tries. I mean, this horse can improve. You know that for sure. You know, I mean, it's been stepping up and winning fairly easily off the speed here. So, you know, when I look at that hot pace, this horse might be able to rate here. I think there's a hot pace, though. I think I like the 3 probably best. The second EquinEdge pick, you know, is going to be coming late. I think the 9 is interesting. I don't know if the 9 can win, but the 9 is the EquinEdge long shot. So, you know, might be able to. But this horse is, you know, getting on to synthetic, but definitely coming from, you know, kind of various places all over. Can't find the surface, can't find the distance, but I think fits here, you know, for Safi. You know, if you don't like, I mean, the 1 is a player, but the 9, I think, you know, as we talk about with other trainers, like, is it the second horse that wins? So
I hear you. And I think you know, going back to the 8 might be my top choice, because if you go back and look 2 races back, he sat pretty far off there.
Yeah.
At the start, and can rate, and just, you know, when it was time to turn it on, just turned it on and went by everybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think the 1 and 4 are going to hook up in a speed duel unless one of them doesn't run at all.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough to be on the rail too, for the 1, to be honest.
And I had a note that if either one of those horses scratch, that it's going to improve the other one's chances greatly.
Yeah. All right. We got 2 minutes. Wow. I haven't, you know, we haven't been watching this, but the 8 is my single. We talked about that the 8's probably a single where you definitely have to spread here, taking a ton of money. We have 2 minutes to post. Oldy, why don't you talk a little bit about this race? I'm going to run and use the restroom real quick, but I have your ticket here. You were spread. I'll be right back in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, this was the race where I thought that the 8's not bad chalk, but I thought that the 3 and the 1 and a couple other horses here had a chance. And in those situations, I typically like to spread. You know, if I don't feel strongly about 1 or 2 horses, that's an opportunity to let the ticket generator help you find the additional horses and, you know, possibly catch a price. So, you know, as Chris mentioned, maybe the top GSR play of the 1 isn't necessarily, you know, the best way of looking at it, but when you're looking for an angle and you're looking to spread, and it's also 19% here, and actually we're on the wrong race. So let me pull up my own, because he left me on the wrong screen here. So, but the 1 was that top GSR play. And, you know, normally when you say 12 races, we don't necessarily factor GSR as much into play, but, you know, it is still 12%. There's a wide spread of win percentages here. The SOR is right in line with the top SORs. It's 2 points off. I think this horse is gonna run and is gonna have a decent shot here. These are 12K claimers. None of these are great horses. None of these are consistent horses either. The 5 is right there on the surface with the 8 in terms of money won. And, I just felt like this was the kind of race that you might be able to find better value than the 8, which is currently at 3 to 5. And I know that's because Barbosa and Jaramillo are 28% together. And, there was a significant scratch in the 2 as well. And we're almost ready here to go off. What about you guys? What do you guys have here?
I'll turn the sound on there for us.
Hey, Justin, you left me on the wrong race, so I actually had to go to my screen.
Sorry. Oh, I did.
You had me on race 9.
I see that. I apologize. Well, good job.
Worries.
Like, I was trying to do that too quick. So I need Aunt Nadine.
And I get it too. That jockey trainer combo is deadly there at almost 30%.
I thought that, I just thought that the 6 probably could not wire here. I thought the 8 really could sit off the speed here. We'll see if this horse can rate, though. That was like to be able to just sit off. I don't know. I mean, I thought that mainly, I think the drop here would really help was my thought process. Yeah. So Scotty, good to see you. I'm with you.
The horses arriving at the starting gate. Last call to wager in race number 6. Last call for today's late pick 4.
I'm with you. I thought the 8 was the single. I know you know.
Mares getting set to load for race number 6.
If you didn't think that, I think Oldy, to your point, like,
furlongs on
you had
the
the
fast
spread.
main track. She's a happy.
Yeah, and I think the 5's really interesting here.
Be the first one to load in.
And I know that sounds crazy at 26 to 1.
Vasquez next.
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, again, if the 8 doesn't win, I wouldn't be surprised to see anybody win.
Right.
Hanita's Empire.
In June, the 5 has a win at 6.5 furlongs against a 60 SOR group.
Still favored here. Even money now for number 8, Aunt Nadine. Aunt Nadine, even money, 4 to 1 on the 4, Hanita's Empire. Here comes number 5, Dignified. Long shot here at 25 to 1 with jockey Jose Morelos into the gate. Goes
Scotty, I think the question might be on the 8 though, with Jaramillo aboard. Will he sit even if he can?
I think
the outside pair, Sade Purse.
But I hear you.
Aunt Nadine.
This is a 12-5 claimer, so
Sade Purse goes in.
Right.
The favorite Aunt Nadine with jockey Misael Jaramillo will complete the line.
And these are 12-5 claimers. A lot of them could be still running in condition.
And they're off and running in a very good dispatch here. Aunt Nadine has speed from the outside.
He wants the lead, man.
Also from between horses with some early footing.
I mean, the 6 didn't get the lead.
And then from between horses, Hanita's Empire gets away in the 3rd position.
Jaramillo's being very aggressive there to try to get over on the rail.
Followed by She's a Happy Girl and Sade Purse as they make their way down the back stretch and get set to bend on the far turn.
What this initial clock is here.
The favorite is on top here at 6 to 5.
I mean, 22 and 1. I mean,
meanwhile, between horses in second, the opening quarter in 20.
The 6 will not. The 6 is not. 6 can't win.
Impressing on Hanita's Empire. And
he's looking behind. I mean, he obviously has horse.
Come toward the top of the stretch.
The 3 looks to have horse. I don't know about the 4.
Toward the inside, Foxy Lady.
He's really hugging the rail.
I think the 8's going to be good.
For home, they're followed by
I think the 8's good.
Girl and Sade Purse. And
come on, 8. Open it up.
Away for home. Aunt Nadine has the lead, but on the outside, Foxy
3 going to get there, man.
On Aunt Nadine and Foxy Lady, and Foxy Lady gets a nose on top and starts to edge away.
Well done.
You got me last week. At least in this race, I got you.
And it's
I did say 8-3-1. Those were my thoughts.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
6
Sorry, y'all. That especially I'm trying to get back to my notes here. If they didn't win, the 3 was my second pick. If I look back at we're on yesterday. Give me 1 second to flip back.
No worries.
So race 6, right? Was that race 6? Yeah. I mean, Miggy raced well versus Tougher. I mean, Foxy Lady was, it wasn't it took no money, just as the morning line thought, was 0 for 6 at the surface and distance. But this was a drop in class here, and you get Vasquez to ride back, here. So, we talked about the 3, good. Well done spreading there. You beat the chalk, big chalk. So well done.
To be honest, I could have just I had one version of the ticket which was just 8-3 there. Ticket would be looking way better right now if I would have just done that.
Yeah, no, I could see that. So well done. We have Gulfstream race 7 in 25 minutes. We have Golden Gate starting in 40 minutes. It looks like, and Del Mar starts in soon, 25 minutes. So I know that let's talk Del Mar first. Oldy needs his single in the next, Kevin. We're gonna, now we get a little bit quick. We're gonna feed in Del Mar a little bit, and we're gonna feed in Golden Gate. We'll start with Del Mar's pick 5. They're opening day for the kind of short meet in the fall here, and then we'll weave in Golden Gate in between the next Gulfstream Park race, and then we'll have a little bit of time probably to finish Golden Gate after the Gulfstream race.
Right.
So that's your ticket, Oldy. You were in the first race here, 3 deep. Why don't let's walk me through here.
All right. So, I really thought this race went only 3 deep. The 1 and 2, I think I'm actually shocked at how little money is going in on the 1. The 1's your top win percentage, top E pick. And, I think this horse has just missed a bunch of times, and this group does not seem great to me. So I think that the 1 would be my top pick here at 5-2, 10-1 on the live odds. The 2 is your second, matches the second pick, and also second win percentage. Very close to the 1 in win percentage, by the way. Gets Pratt, so that's obviously a plus here on the grass. And, has a nice post at Del Mar too, not too far outside, which we know is an issue. But this horse just seems to love second place. I like the idea of a 1-2 exacta here as well, just because the 2 just seems to find himself in second place for some reason. And if you look, there's brief bid, bumped hard break, there's trouble signs here, but he seems to have trouble every time. And that horse is currently at 3-5. So I think there's value at playing against there. And then my third pick is your top GSR. Also, as I pull up my other notes here, is your top SOR and your third on the morning line and third in win percentage, and may have the right run style for this race. I think there's enough speed here that if the 1 doesn't go gate to wire, that the 7 might sit a perfect trip. Just far enough off those earlier speed horses, came really, really close against a better field here, and is Joe Bravo is a pretty good turf rider as well.
What were your thoughts on the 6? Sorry, not the 6, the 5, the EquinEdge long shot with Barrios, knowingly in kind of the 1 here. with the one having this big pace advantage on the turf, I would
Yeah.
be curious on your thoughts. One, on the pace advantage of the one, but also your thoughts on the 5 as the EquinEdge long shot coming late.
Well, I think the one could wire the field. Those were my scenarios where the one wires the field or the 7 comes from behind. You know,
Yeah.
the 5 has a lot of the things I don't like in horses. That even when it gets to the lead, you know, right in the stretch, it gets caught. So it's the kind of horse that, you know, when there's too much speed, is the one that gets through on the rail or gets through outside and then gets passed by another horse. I also don't like the fact that the horse seems to have not run any better on the drop in class and now is moving back up. So I think we can expect it to run about the same race regardless. It runs more to its quality of competition than to its actual ability.
Yeah.
And maybe this is, look, the last 2 times out on the drop-in class, this horse was burnt money, was 1-1, essentially, right around 1-1. So my issue here is that if this horse couldn't get this done against 42 SOR and 44 SOR horses at the extra half furlong, do I think it's going to get it done against 54 SOR? And you look at the 9 furlong race, might be its worst race of all. That was my thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. No, let me, let's
pull up
I'm going to I got to switch over here. Del Mar, race 1, 5. So, oh, that's yours. Okay,
yours is it. You have another Del Mar screen up there. I don't know if that's yours.
Yeah, that's yours. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. So I have this. So, I'm singling here. I'll do it this way. I'm singling the 6 here with Rispoli. And then I got okay, that's why it's okay. So, and then 1, let's see if that fixes it. No. So I think all but 1 there. So 1, 2, 5, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 3. Yep. Okay. So I'm with you here. I do think the 1 might wire. I did add the 5, which is why I was kind of asking. I do love Barrios on the turf, and he rode so great at the Del Mar meet last time he was there. They are 0 for 13. This is just a total long shot play. The 2 is taking a ton of money for Pratt and Graham Motion, and a really big increase here in the win percent. This was a 60, nearly 1. And you got Pratt aboard, was out there at Belmont Aqueduct, and then that jumps to 31%. Like, I noticed that. I mean, I'm not surprised to see this horse is taking a ton of money there. Pratt does not ride well for Motion, though. Just 1 win in 12 tries. But I was trying to catch a little bit of price here, and I did think the 1 might be able to speed off, though. I was with you there. So, all right. Leg 2, we were
really similar in leg 2.
Yeah, I had 3, 4, 5, 6. You added the 1, it looks like. Tell me a little bit about the 1 horse.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie here. I let the ticket generator, I played out my single and I played out my second narrow leg, and the ticket generator went all here. So the 1 is just a ticket generator shot in the dark at 12% against a weak group of claimers. The horse that I think everybody was going to single in this scenario was the Baffert horse that scratched. And, that I think you saw Kenny from one of our chats talk about what do we do with Baffert horses in this situation? And I typically don't like Baffert horses in maiden claimers because he doesn't give away good horses. So maybe they decided this horse can actually run and scratched it there. And the rest of these horses were all kind of blah and, kind of not great. And, I couldn't really differentiate here. I did like the Peter Miller horse a little bit, the 6 horse that draws Juan Hernandez. It is interesting because Pratt was going to ride for Baffert, and Miller and Pratt are a very prolific combo, that they were not there. But I do agree with the morning line. I'm sorry, with the top pick. The 6 here would be my top choice as well. But I think the one has a legitimate chance here on the drop. This isn't a 42 group without the Baffert horse there. It's probably more like a 38.
Yeah, I mean, you're smart. I mean, I threw it just kind of to cut from a budget standpoint, and if I jump back here, so I, all but one, but you're getting a 12% horse at, is going to be the bomber of the field. I mean, that is how, if you spread there, from a betting standpoint, was a 2% trainer was kind of my big thing here with Kyle Frey. Although, you have a trainer here in the 3, which I do find a little bit interesting. Maybe Joe Herrick will pick up his first win of the year at Del Mar's
at almost the end of the year.
Yeah. But I mean, you are getting to a 12% horse here, which is by far the longest shot of the field. I think this race is wide open. So I get it by pressing the all button here. So you were in leg 3. This was your single. You singled the 3 here. Tell me about your single.
Yeah. So the 3 here, top pace number, top win percentage, top SOR. And if you drill into the horse, you'll see the horse just missed against slightly better than this group. The works are monstrous. I was going to say monstrosity, but they're actually monstrous. And those have 2 different meanings. The E morning line loves this horse. The win percentage loves this horse. It's first in the E top pick algorithm. Lots of agreement here. It just looks to be the speed of the speed, if you will, in a race where I'm not sure any of these horses really want to rate as well. I know a lot of people, some other people like the 2. I'm just not sure that the 2 really will ever get there. The only win on the 2 was against 52 Company. It's had more races. They've been on and off about distance. I don't really love Mendelssohn's sprinting either. I prefer more of a routing or a 1-turn mile, maybe even at the shortest for a Mendelssohn there amongst 2-year-olds. And then the one horse that I didn't use that I think could bomb this whole situation if he can rate is the 1.
Yeah. I'm with you there. So I use the 1, 3, 4. I think the 3 is 100% a player. I think to your point, lines up. It wasn't 2 is the top win percent, but second EquinEdge pick. So I really struggled here. Do I single the 3? I didn't love the 2. Velasquez for Doug O'Neill. They're 0 for 6. It is the second EquinEdge pick, top win. When I looked here, though, I'm like, okay, well, you've been racing versus a little bit tougher. You've been sprinting. Cedillo's been riding. He gets off 1 of 52, but came way off the speed here at 5 furlongs. I don't expect, in this situations here, can that happen? I guess maybe. I mean, there's only 1 horse on the lead. I mean, the 3 could for sure wire. I don't necessarily see a horse being able to just fly off the speed here, I think was the thing. You can see this horse was too close in the last and is probably, it doesn't, I don't think it wants to be close, it did rate here in the 52, and this was 2 turns, but I couldn't really get down with the 2, almost singled the 3. But I thought Pratt and Miller here were just interesting. They don't hit well at all. But trainer change here is this horse comes over from Remington. I don't really know the story at all here, but wired. I do like Pratt's aboard, Flavian out riding in California. He was booted off, Chris. Yeah, I'm with you. I could see that. But on the 4, I mean, my main thing here was getting Pratt to see if this horse can sit close. It gets Pratt, gets Miller, Lasix come off, actually. It was just a little bit of a kind of wacky play. I mean, I think the 3 could be tough. I'm with you on the 1, though. You talked a little bit about the 1. Does not have the best GSR. But what I would say, and I always like to look at this horse isn't just bred all that great. I mean, it's only bumps up to a 60, wants the turf, wants to sprint all day, is the price play with Maldonado and Bob Hess. So, I thought it was a little bit interesting. This could be pretty chalky, though. Like the 3 may just be the best of the speed here and be gone. So I'm with you. In the next leg, single to 6, I'll talk about the 6, Oldy, and then would love your perspective on the 1 and 4 as well.
Yeah.
You have Rispoli here, second EquinEdge pick. My concern was the 4. This horse has just completely struggled to win. Has been racing at 6 furlongs, has been racing versus tougher. They drop in class, still does not want to win. The 1's going to be on the lead here with the speed. There's going to be a bunch of pace. Like, is this horse going to get up? I don't know. I went, the 6 also struggling to win. Gets Rispoli here, has raced on the turf, but gets back to the dirt. So I say toss the turf at Santa Anita. I like the move back to the dirt here. I think it's going to have a big pace. I think Rispoli could just give a good trip here, sit mid-pack. I think this horse has been racing versus tougher. This is the spot, though. What happened here as the favorite, didn't win, in the 8 post, but it tossed the turf race. I think that this horse has the chance. It's finally getting the drop, and, it has a good chance to win here. But, a bunch of one-time winners. What's your thought here on the 1 and the 4?
So the 1, you're 100% right. Could go gate to wire here. Should be on the lead. This is Del Mar. So, it's short stretch. Good chance for a speed horse here to pull that off. The SOR is about right there as well. The 6 checks off a lot of boxes. You're 100% right. Second, Scotty, top win percentage. That's a 42% or so combo. And then the 1 is your second win percentage, also top GSR. So those are good matches, and second in E morning line and top pace. So there's a lot of things pointing at the 1. There's a lot of things pointing at the 4. I'm sorry, the 6. And then the 4 was top E pick, and was right there as well for me, is getting Johnny V, which may time the move better than JJ did, and might help him get up and get over the hump here. I agree with you. I would have liked to see him run better off of the drop, but if you look at the actual drop, he dropped onto turf from dirt, and I think he's a better dirt horse. And then coming back over to the dirt, he didn't run well, and they gave him a freshening. He stumbled that first race, and maybe something happened, and they tried to run him again, and then he got a little bit of a freshening here. So I think this horse might be just fresh enough to get over the hump here.
Yeah, my main concern with the 4, which is how, I just like this horse does not break well at all. This has a ton of struggles. Maybe Johnny V will help, though. Here off slow, shuffled here on the turf. Here, you can kind of skip the turf races to your point. This, for sure, I would say below these, would love the dirt more. But here I'm just like stumbled, bit slow. I'm like, if this horse breaks, it's going to be tough. But, I do think there's going to be a lot of speed here. I think that the 1 on the rail is going to show a ton of speed. I worry that this horse maybe can't at this level, though. I mean, it's lightly raced, but is it going to be okay? I mean, it's been on the lead here and kind of fades a little bit. That concerned me. I also think Lashing Legacy is going to show some speed here with Pratt, Peter Miller. would be my concern.
Yeah.
That was my hope, to just set it up for the 6. Let's talk the last leg. You know, you were at 1, 4, 7, 8, 9. I think I'm similar. We're actually the same here. We have Gulfstream Park in 8 minutes. So let's cover this, and then we'll watch that race at, well, we might be able to jump to Golden Gate and try to start that. Then we'll watch the race at Gulfstream, and then we'll come back and try to get a late pick 5 also at Golden Gate. But, you know, tell me any thoughts you had here on the perspective of the last race. I really struggled to look at this race, so I just let Ticket Generator spread, to be honest.
I looked at this first from the microscope of, okay, what matches up here? And there really is not a lot of things that match. So the 9 is the top Scotty, but not the top win percentage, or top EE pick and not top win percentage. The 7 is the top EE pick and not the second or top win percentage. The 8 is the top win, but not in the is not identified anywhere else in any of the algorithms. The 1's the only one that who is going to be on the lead, but there's a lot of other speed. There's some other speed here. It really depends if the 3 goes, but the 1 could go gate to wire because of that. But the 1 has at least some matches here. You have the top SOR, 30 morning line, and top pace. But when those win percentages and top E picks don't line up, those are places I like to spread, because that's usually a sign that a race is wide open.
Yeah, I'm with you here. I didn't love that EquinEdge long shot just because I think the 1's going to get the lead, and I'm not sure that this horse can do much. I mean, the 1 doesn't get the lead. I mean, I guess maybe the 3 there with Kyle Frey, but a lot of speed. That's where I said, okay, similar to you, what's going to happen here? I mean, there's going to be a hot pace. One of those doesn't break, the other one's wiring, or if something happens. But I like JJ on the 1 more than the 3. And then, I just tried to kind of look through and use the win percents, to be honest here, and make sure I added some coverage in the last leg, because I think that somebody's going to come off the pace. I mean, this was a tough race, I thought, to close out the early pick 5.
Yeah, I mean, the 8's your top win percentage, but is, a last time out winner and breaking its maiden in its 7th race.
Yep.
Is it really ready to go up 10 points in SOR?
Yeah. No, it's a good question. I mean, especially when it couldn't win back here. It did start off well, but then went off a layoff for 8 months, and then is back, kind of trying to get back in form. My only thing I would say here is, this horse could improve. I mean, there's a starter allowance race. You have Rispoli riding for McCarthy. They do okay, but I'm with you. The win percent's huge there in my mind, though. Like this, you're not going to find anywhere else that tells you about. I mean, this horse is probably going to take no money, right? I mean, I would not be surprised to see this horse go off at 8 to 10 to 1 for sure. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And on the 9, I think the 9 wants a little longer based on the GSR, but might get if both those horses go on the front end, might get the pace setup that's going to make up for not having the extra distance.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. All right, so there's your ticket. 1, 2, 7, 1 with the 3, 4, 5, 6 with the 3, the 1, 4, 6, and the 1, 4, 7, 8, 9. There's my ticket. I singled the 6 there in the 4th leg. Tried to get some coverage, up front. But there's my ticket. We got Del Mar. We cannot watch Del Mar, but we of course wanted to cover Del Mar for a bit. That race is in 3 minutes, and we have Gulfstream that's gonna kind of come back over the top. So, Oldy, can you do me a favor well, actually, to be honest, what we'll do here is I'm going to pull up, we can't watch Del Mar, but I'm going to pull it up just on my second screen here. We still have, 4+ minutes at Gulfstream. We have 2 minutes at Del Mar. Man, I wish I was in San Diego right now. That's, the weather is much better there than here.
Yeah. So, Chris points out that 7 of the horses in race 5 are better than the same race SOR there.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
And that we have 75% of the win percentage in the 5th race.
Yeah, that's good though, right? I mean,
I mean, for
so
a spread race, yeah, if you're spreading there.
I can't, it won't, once, for whatever reason, when you display the race there, it doesn't like it, but everybody should be able to, if I switch off that screen, but there's my ticket. I'm 1257. You are 127. The only thing I did was add the EquinEdge long shot. We got Gulfstream there. And then, so if anybody else wants to see it, there's mine singled in the 4th. There's yours singled in the 3rd.
Yeah.
We're going to have to, let's spend a minute here talking about, so Golden Gate.
My ticket got ravaged by some scratches too. Not ravaged, but it's down to $90.
Okay, I'm going to update it. Then what got, well, tell me, walk me, they're approaching the gate at Del Mar. Help me out here, just since I got to do this on the fly with the scratches.
So I now have 146.
Yep.
15.
Yep.
1 through 467.
Whoa, the one scratched in leg 3.
In leg 3, because it's not showing that on my screen. Let me refresh this.
Why is it? Oh, it's because 4, 5. I see. Hold on a second. I'm on race. Hold on.
You on the next day?
No, it was. You said $90. Okay, I got you.
It literally just took out my scratches and made it that. And I looked at, going back to 120, but I did not see what I liked there, and anything that I like to go back up to that. And of course, that'll probably
what was leg 1 again?
Haunt me in race 3, where I'm all but 1. But
what was leg 1?
Leg 1's 146.
Okay, leg 2.
15.
Okay.
1 through 467 in race 3.
Okay.
1.
There. So it's got, I think some of these are mine. So hold on. I'm try to
No worries. We're loading at Del Mar, by the way.
Yeah, I see. I got it on my other screen here. All right. 1. And then what in the last?
1, 2, 5 through 7.
1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
Yep.
I think that's right. Okay. All right. You're 127 here at Del Mar. Oh, somebody lost a job. That's the 6.
That's the 6, yeah.
And I was 1257. We got Gulfstream in. Can everybody see Gulfstream? Oldy, can you see Gulfstream?
Hold on. 1 got the lead like we expected. Yeah, we got Gulfstream coming up, and they're going to kind of go off on top of each other here, I think.
Can you see it though? I pulled it up.
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. Yeah, man, that 6 horse is just causing all types of havoc at Del Mar, man.
Well, if he can keep the 2 from getting up there, that would be great.
This 6 is gonna.
I hope the jock's okay though. Who was the jock on the? Who was you love Vasquez too? He was the jock on that horse.
He got up like right away. He kind of was that like, well, that wasn't cool. 7's running really good here. Shows the 2 just sitting off the 1, but the 1 definitely saved a little bit of. You can see in that second quarter.
Yeah.
But
it's a decent pace for 1 mile and a 16th for this level.
Yeah, I think the 7 is looks to be done.
7's all out. I think he's done. I think it's the 1 or the 2 here, or somebody coming from the back.
Yeah, the 5. Nobody else is, I think, going to come here. I don't know if the 2. I mean, the 1 might wire here. He still has horse. I don't think the 2's going to get up, man. It's going to be close.
Yeah, the two's gaining
one's
now.
got it. Nice run there. That's a good ride.
Do we get a boom here?
That's a boom, baby. Boom.
I'm told, by the way, to the community, we got some boom graphics coming in the next few weeks. So,
all right, you're single to the 4 here.
Yep, it's all on here. No pressure, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, no, I'm narrowing the next leg too. So,
and then after this, it's gonna be a quick. It will be a quick churn to Golden Gate.
yeah.
Which is okay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
We'll just do it really quick. Let me make sure. So I need to. Is your ticket look correct there, Oldie?
Yes. Well,
okay.
You just moved it on me, but yeah.
And then I need to. I'm a little worried that mine might have. I have to see. I'm singling the EquinEdge long shot leg 2.
Okay.
So, all right, they're loading.
We're loading here.
Sorry, hold on 1 second. Okay, I can get the sound back. Although
Almo 10 Girl with Miguel Vasquez being led up to gate number 3 now.
Anybody else play Delmar ticket? Did you guys do something different?
Angel, second choice on the board at 5-2 right now with Edwin Gonzalez.
Correct, Scott.
Number 4, also stepping up, Fortuna Bell. Fortuna Bell looks like that one will load without the rider, and Luca Panici will join once inside the gate.
Luca Panici wins just enough to kill my tickets.
Mama Maria is the 9-5 favorite. Currently on the board at 9-5 again, number 6, Mama Maria with Edgar Perez. Here comes Starship Sunrise to gate number 5 with Edgar Zayas, and
6 going to go off as the favorite. I know that 9. I was.
Yeah, I think you liked the
3, 4.
No, you didn't.
5.
You liked the 5. Yeah.
Thought the 5 might run here for sure. And then.
And after that, Brown Eyed Beauty with 3. Jaime Torres will complete the line from post 10.
Well, good luck.
Here comes Brown Eyed Beauty to complete the line. And they're off and running. A pretty good dispatch. They're all lined up right across the track, but one of the fastest away is Mama Maria. Mama Maria quickly out to an early lead. Up on the outside, Fortuna Bell races away from that second position. Also early speed from the outside.
The 4 is,
Brown Eyed Beauty is up into the fray.
4 is having to race in between there, and then got kind of shuffled.
Toward the inside, gets the call in 4th position as they bend onto the far turn. Further back on the outside is Zosterop. That one outside of Guardian Angel. We come
Well, I
further
guess we'll
back
see
in
what
the
the
field
4
to
is
the
made of
trailers.
now.
Starship,
Got a nice
Sunrise,
rail trip, though.
Mohawk Trail, and My Insanity. They round the
Yeah,
far
for
turn
sure.
after an
The
opening
6
quarter
got, though, it's
22 and
just
1.
such an,
Mama
I
Marie
mean,
and
did go
Edgar Perez
22
showing
and
the way
1,
here by
though.
about a length over Kitty
Yeah,
Quick.
but the 4 is not
Who
moving the
emerges
way
now
I would
from
like
second
here.
position. It comes right up
Not
along the
gobbling up
outside. Here
ground
comes
like I
Kitty
hoped.
Quick to pressure the leader.
3's
As
not
they get
running,
set to
4's
turn for
not.
home. Fortuna
2's,
Bell
the
is running
2
in
I
third
think might
position.
be
Then we have
gone
Guardian
here.
Angel and
6
Brown
is
Eyed
Yeah,
game,
Kitty.
though,
unless the 4.
and
And
for
two horses
sure.
squaring off here as they come into the final furlong. Kitty Quick on the outside of Mama Maria. Kitty Quick takes the lead.
Sorry,
Mama
guys.
trying to fight on. It's
Yeah,
Kitty
that
Quick
the
and
4
Mama
had tough
Maria,
trip,
then well
though.
back to Guardian Angel.
The one thing I
and
would
Brown
say
Eyed
there,
Beauty,
that
but it
was
will be
6
Kitty
was
Quick.
game, but that's
Just might
a
not be
tough
that
trip.
good.
Yeah. Well, Gulfstream wasn't the day, but so we had 6 minutes till Golden Gate.
Yeah.
Opener in your current.
Let's I want to make sure that so I'm single to the 4 in race 2. You know, leg 1, I was 146. You were, I'm gonna move this.
We're the same in leg 1.
Yeah.
But the 3 is really being bet, and I don't know why.
This was 3%. Wow. That is pretty insane. You are right. I thought the 1 had a big pace advantage. It was going to be tough. I don't, the 3 coming out the speed. I'd rather have the 6 here than the 3. The 3 is EquinEdge long shot, though. So, I mean, maybe there's something there with the 3. We were both 146, though.
Hard to ignore the
pace,
Wong horse there.
The 6 was the EquinEdge long shot as the first time starter, and that obviously flipped to the 3. Maybe just when the 5 scratched. I don't know when, but I think to your point, that the 4 was the Wong. Yeah, you're right. Not taking any money, though. Interesting.
I mean, the morning line says that horse should be 1-1.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. This is an interesting race. I mean, look at that win percent. The betting here is pretty, good betting race. If you like the 4, it's the first, first EquinEdge pick, right? 7-2 top win. It is coming off a 3-month layoff, right? Out of, I don't even know where that is. Santa Rosa probably would be.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, probably on the fair circuit this summer. Comes off the layoff. Wong Pena, though. I mean, this horse taking no money, and EquinEdge, that's a win. I'm gonna bet the 4 to win. Just because of, actually, I'm playing a 4-4 double at Golden Gate. Just for the fact of I'll play the 4 to win here. My single is in the next leg. Let me start here. I basically just started eliminating horses. I did not like the pace here on the 2 and 3 at all. I think they're gonna duel. The 1 is the second pick. Won a 40 SOR last out here, was the favorite, but had burned money in the past at just low levels. I mean, this is a starter allowance, so it's a tough race. GSR definitely drops back on the synthetic, horse 1 on the turf. So I'm like, okay, this horse maybe runs well, but I didn't love the 1 either. So I thought 2 and 3 are going to duel going 2 turns. 1 I don't love. And then the 5, I'm like, okay, well, the 5's a little bit interesting. It's top EquinEdge pick. It did win also last out. It maybe can raid here off all that speed and everything, or come late, basically, has shown it been able to do that. But I just didn't like, I'm like, well, it's the 5 or 4 as a single. I landed on the 4. Mainly just because at this win percent of, 5% was racing well here, and then won a 46, and this was way too tough, but the horse ran well, to be honest. What, Oldy, anything you want to add here in leg 2?
Well, I think you're right about the 5, but I really like the 1 here. I think the 1 might sit a perfect trip there, a pocket trip behind the 2 speed horses, the 2 and the 3. And, the win percentage says the 1 should be a player here. Coming off, again, a horse coming off of a maiden win after being 0 for 16, not a horse you single, not a high GSR horse either. But I think that this might be the right level for that horse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see it. You were just 1-5 too deep here. I could see it. I mean, I could. I don't like the 2 or 3 at all. You obviously tossed them both as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really on the fence on the 3, but that would have been the next horse I added rather than the 4.
I just think they're going to end up they're going to be flying
Yeah.
here, and I just like somebody to come off the lead. We got 1 minute, for viewers. That's Oldy's ticket there. He's singling the 1. We both are spread in leg 3. So I think let's skip that just for the moment. I was 1-4-6 here in the 4th leg. You're single to your 1. Talk about your 1 for a minute.
So the 1 here, hold on 1 second. Let me pull that up. So the 1 here, at Golden Gate, race 4, top Scotty, top win percentage, top GSR, top SOR, top E morning line, top pace.
Yeah.
So it just checks pretty much every box. Obviously, I'm treating this like it's an obvious single. It also is moving from, this was originally a turf race and is moving to synthetic. So there is a small GSR drop there, but I think the horse can handle it. I don't see any other speed here that can force this horse to go too fast. And I don't think any of these other horses are all that good.
Yeah, no, I could see it. I basically took the 1 and then took somebody to come off the pace here. The 4, is going to probably sit mid-packer in the back, and the 6 is going to try to come flying late. So, that was my kind of perspective there was, could you find somebody to come late to beat the 1? But I like it. I was trying to beat the 1 here a little bit. Like, it's going to have all that speed on the front end, and see if I just didn't like the second race. So I was like, I'm going against a lot of horses here and tried to find the horse I liked best, which ended up landing on the long shot. And then we were both spread in the end. I think I was 1-2-5-7 and you were similar 1-2-5. You added the 6 as well as a long shot. So they're loading. I'm 1-4-6 here. You are also 1-4-6. 4, I think it was a bet. I played a 4-4 double myself. Let's turn it over to Matt Ditterman.
Yeah. We're ready to go. We're off and running at Golden Gate Fields, and the big favorite Chivago was away last, broke terribly at the start of the race, and he is at the back of the pack, gets to the outside.
That 1 is going to have to rush up. Look at that.
Today. That leaves Stan the cameraman with a clear lead, and he opens
I don't know if the 1 can.
Chivago
if the 1 can run that way.
Second in the 3 path, he's keyed up behind the speed, but after that bad
I don't think that horse gonna have to rush, and to sustain that is going to be very, very hard.
4 got bet down at the end though too.
Yeah, Stan the cameraman. I love that.
Well, and you have to remember with the smaller pools at Golden Gate, the late money has a lot more effect on.
I don't think that the 1 can sustain that type of run like that.
Let's see if the 6 comes up the rail here.
6 is running really nice, but 4 still has horse. But it's going to be 4-6 or 6-4.
I think the 6 has got him. I've watched a lot of races at Golden Gate here. I think the 6 has it.
Wow.
Marco, does that qualify as a boom?
What'd you say there?
I said to Marco, because he said 3-1 doesn't qualify as a boom. So how about 9-2? Does that qualify?
Yeah, that was a great ride there by Kevin Radke. He's actually an Emerald Downs rider. Go ahead.
That doesn't work. He doesn't win that race if he goes wide.
Yeah, I'm with you. Did a great job of coming up the rail there. Yeah, bingo, Jeff. Mike, that blew your ticket. What did you play? Did you narrow down and toss the 6?
Number 6, Condor Cat was first. Second, number 4, Stan the Cameraman. Third,
the 6 was the EquinEdge long shot to start, man.
Master 6, 4, 1, 2. Your top 4
you know,
finishers in
so
race number 1. Please continue.
That was flipped over to the 3, who was just not a runner.
So Topher, Chris points out, Topher, who is in some of our groups and also brought down the Mahoning Valley jackpot last week, that he's alive on 2 separate tickets to in the last leg of the Aqueduct Pick 6 carryover.
Wow, that's incredible. What are some of those will pays? Oh, you keyed the 1, Mike? That's a bummer. Sorry, brother.
So I know one of the tickets he singled the 8, and that's about almost $3,000. And then I believe on the other one, and I'm not sure because, hey, Chris, do you have what he has on the second ticket? And we'll hopefully Chris can grab that for us. But I think it's 5, 6, 8, or it's either that or 6, 8, 9. It might be 6, 8, 9. Yeah, 6, 8, 9 is the other one. And
wow, what are the will pays?
They range from right under 3,000 to about 4,500. But think about it this way: he has the 8 for $2 because he's got 2 tickets. So if the 8 wins, that's really $6,000.
Wow. Well, good luck to him. We'll have to. When does the race go off?
We got a while. It's 22 minutes. So.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But, always like to hear when one of our guys hits. Topher is a guy who goes to Canterbury and comes home with piles of cash. So like he plays a lot of cash tickets. So we see a lot of pictures of piles of cash from him.
Yeah. That I love that. That's awesome. 22 minutes is a lifetime. That's true, Jeff.
Yes.
It really is. So, Oldy, we talked about we're both dead at Gulfstream, which is a bummer.
Yeah.
I'm I thought the 4 there had a shot, but I thought the 6. So we're both alive at Golden Gate. We're both alive at Del Mar. We have, let's see here. So we got Del Mar in 9 minutes coming up. We then have Gulfstream Park a few minutes after that, and then we'll have Golden Gate, about 10 to 12 minutes after that. We want to cover stakes race at Del Mar tomorrow now, or do we want to wait a few minutes?
We can cover it now if you want. I mean, we're going to have probably gaps between the races anyways. Or we could take a look if you want at someplace like Woodbine or Hawthorne that's coming up.
Let's flip to let's flip over to Del Mar tomorrow, and they have a non-graded stakes. I'll let you. Why don't you bring up your EE on your end, Chris? So Mattress Mac, I have not seen this, but ping me because I would love to see that if it's just Twitter or whatever. But I I guess it's good for the whatever sport. But he's a character and just love seeing that. It sounds like he's actually a pretty good guy for the community and everything. But send me the link. I would love to see that with him and $40 million. That's pretty insane.
Well, and I would say that if you have that kind of money and you can enjoy your life, and why not?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I mean, and he has a good time. For sure.
So, this Del Mar race, I think, is pretty wide open as well. So this is race 7 at Del Mar tomorrow.
Yeah, the Catherine Crosby Stakes, non-graded, 8 furlongs on the turf, day 2 of the short meet. Would love to hear your kind of thoughts here. I didn't think there was any pace really in this race, but I thought it was very, very competitive. But what were your thoughts here?
I thought this was competitive. I didn't think it was a particularly good race, so to speak. Like I don't think these are great horses. Um, I really like the the E second pick, Warren's Candy Girl here. I realize there's no pace and that might affect this, but really when we're saying there's no pace, there's a bunch of horses that aren't fast that are all around the same pace number. So somebody's going to get the lead. They're going to tire out because they're a little bit closer to the front, I feel like, than they normally would be. And, that's still going to set it up pretty good for Warren's Candy Girl, who did not run well last time out, broke a little slowly, but has beaten better than this. And, that's what I was looking for here, with somebody who I thought wants to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking along those lines, my second pick is the 3. And, the 3 needs to improve a little bit class-wise, but take a look at the 3's record at the distance.
So Sugar Fix here.
Yep.
8 wins. I saw this in 14 tries. That's pretty incredible. My comment was he's going to have to step up, but
right,
yeah,
exactly.
That's incredible.
So the 5 is the top pick. My personal opinion is that the 5's a toss. Like, I would toss it all together. I think the 5 needs the lead here. And I'm not sure he can rate. And I do think there's a horse faster than him.
Yep.
And he's not all that fast to begin with. And if you look, there is the one time he rated, but it looks like they're mostly trying to get him to the lead and he's not getting there. Yeah. And, I just don't think this horse is all that good. Does get Pratt, so you have to watch out for that. And, much like Irad can make a horse that's good but not great have a great day, Pratt can do the same thing. But, I would probably, if I were playing the late pick 5 here, I'd probably toss that horse and take that chance to get a better price somewhere else, because 9 to 5 is not an attractive price on a horse that likely needs the lead and isn't going to get it. The 1 is interesting to me. Sprinter stretching out is the top pace number. The GSR seems to indicate this horse can handle a mile, might have a little more of a kick at this distance and being able to slow things down. Been running against better and down the hill in these sprints. So I think this horse at a price is very interesting at 5-1 morning line. And the other note I had was on the 4, was your second win percentage. And I think this horse might want longer. I'm not sure it wants to go a mile. It really hasn't run well at that distance. It looks like a mile and a 16th is its minimum, because it seems to be performing much better with that extra half furlong. So I had this horse also as a potential toss.
Yeah, I actually like the 4. It's going to need some pace. I thought that, might help here. I mean, this race does really is, bipartisanship. And I do know we have Del Mar here coming up. We have, I think, a couple minutes, but I'm with you here. I thought that bipartisan, I think as a player here has not won, in 3 tries, but you do get an improvement in the win percent, pretty big jump here from 5 to 14 to then 20%, has been dropping in class. You have JJ for Grand Motion. I thought the 3s, Sugar Fix, that is a great record, but I did think was going to have to step up in class a little bit. The 1 I think is the pace. I'm with you on the 5. Didn't love, Burgo Alley. Does get Flavian Pratt here. So big jockey, kind of change. Although Vasquez is a very competent jockey, in my opinion. Gets a little bit of a drop in class. I mean, maybe Pratt gives a great ride here. I could see it on the 5 for sure. You know, I did think the 4 was interesting though. You know, the 2 pulpit rider is, you know, EquinEdge long shot, has Vasquez board, going to be coming late. I personally thought the 4 was a bit of a better play there, but the 2 could blow up the board. I would not leave the 2 like out of tickets. Also 5 for 15, has hit the board in 10 out of 15 tries. I mean, this is a very competitive race. You know, the 6, big EquinEdge morning line value here. You know, lightly raced for Izzy M, you know, is getting back to kind of 2 turns here after sprinting, which wants to do, but this is a big step up in class. But what I would say is this horse is not as much of a bomber as you think, because this race is so competitive, you know. So somebody to think about in verticals, the 2 and 6, like I think if you're playing verticals there, and I know they're getting close to the gate at Del Mar, but is for sure potential to look at those. Then the 8, right? So Gold for a Kitten, top GSR, you know, needs to continue the step up here, has been, you know, running well lower and then stepping up in class. You have Velasquez for Sadler, big layoff though, but big works here, you know, 9 months, but coming off a bullet work. This I thought was one of probably the most interesting horses for me, you know, 17% to win, really has a chance to improve here, but is coming, you know, off a layoff, which I think is going to be tough. I mean, that's a long time, but the horse looks to be working great. I just didn't think there was a ton of players here, but let's, you know, I know Del Mar is about to run for today. Race 2. I'm
all here, but I also played a.
I think I might be 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I think I added the 1 because you asked me about the 1 there.
Yeah. So I'm 3, 4, 5, 6. You are all, they're off. Looks like who's in the lead? The 6 in the lead? Yeah.
No,
the 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both kind of, the 6 doesn't seem to want the lead, but the 5 is going to just come through on the rail. The 3, he's having to hold that, you know, hold the horse back quite a bit there.
Scotty hates that.
Yeah, and then he gets stuck in between. Like, I don't love that. You know, that
the 1's got horse there.
Yeah, the 3 seems to have horse, but I'm curious if he kind of choked the horse a little bit. Now he's trying to get going again, which is just brutal. Yeah. And you know, the 5 and 6 are just going to run off. The 6 had a great trip there off the speed, right? They're gone. Nobody's catching one of these. 5 still has horse. I think. I mean, the 6 is running a little bit here. It's going to be a 2-horse race, but 5 has horse. I'll be surprised if the 6 gets up here. I mean, just looks to be hanging a little bit, and 5 is just, 5's taking off. So, wow, that's a good start, Oldy, to both kind of pick 5s there. You know, you get an, you know, $8+ winner there, and going to end up with a $10+ winner probably in leg 2. They were cruising on the dirt there. So
and that paid a $2 double paid $51 there.
Wow, that's crazy. So Gulfstream Park, we're both out of our pick 5s. We can jump over here though, because we have a few minutes till my single at Golden Gate. What are the live odds doing at Golden Gate? So the 5's the favorite. Look at the 4s, the second favorite. That people are taking horses off the lead there. So, you know, I think that the 4 for sure has a shot. The 5 as well. 4 was my single, so be curious what kind of happens there. But if we jump over to Golden Gate, you talked a lot about the 1 and 2, and I talked about the 5 being a runner. The 5's taking no money, so
you're on Gulfstream.
Yeah, and sorry, I was jumping around.
I thought you said jump over to Golden Gate.
Yeah, I was real quick. I just wanted to see the odds there about the 4 and 5, but Gulfstream, you know, they're about to go. I really like the 5 here, but go ahead, Oldy.
Yeah, I like the 1 and the 2. Obviously, this might be another maybe a 2-1 ice cold exacta. I mean, it's chalk, so I'm not really giving you anything that's going to make any money. Hey, and Kenny, what did you play at Del Mar? Yeah, I mean, the 1 and the 2 I felt pretty strongly about. The other horse I liked in this race scratched was the 10. The original E long shot here.
Yeah, I think the 5 is going to be a runner here. I really do. You know, coming off that layoff for Harmony, this horse taking no money though. This is a good bet, in my opinion. If you're playing, any type of verticals here, I 100% would be playing the 5 for sure. The 1 and 2, I think, to your point, are going to be tough. They're still not at the gate, so we have a few minutes here.
Yeah,
no,
you know, they went away from that post creep, and then they're all the way back to doing that again. I don't know if there was something in the data that showed them that they were losing money in the pools or something like that, but they seem to have gone back to a Charlestown like post creep at Gulfstream.
The 11 EquinEdge long shot may fly here. You know, they're going 2 turns on the synthetic. If this 2 cannot rate on the synthetic, you know, I like the 1, the 5, and 11 here in an exacta box a little bit. I think I did like the 2 though. I think, you know, but it will be interesting if Grandma's Pudding here can, I love the name, you know, added blinkers last out. This is the horse I was thinking of earlier in a 58. I mean, this horse has just been racing versus way tougher. And, you know, I think it's a player, you know, but it's going to be close to the lead here going 2 turns and, you know, got second, got fourth. I don't know if the 2, I would not, again, 2 is going to go off as the favorite here. You know, I'll be curious where Zayas sits the 2 for Ralph Nix. Yeah. You know, but I think the 5 and 11, if for prices, you know, if you want to add to your verticals, they're 100% worth a shot. I see they're loading.
Panici, the other.
So I did a 1-2, 1-2, 5, 11, 1-2, 5, 8, 11 try.
Nice. Good luck.
Here comes Crystal Coast and Jairo Rendon. Outside Lovelorn Lady and Miguel Vasquez. And 2 back, Britiz with Amisal Jaramillo to gate number 5. And the final one to load will be Isla Bonita to the outside with Indoel Beato. Isla Bonita joins the line, and they're in the gate. And they're off and running.
Jaramillo sent. Look at
dispatch. That. The last one away toward the inside was Tizen Up.
I'll be curious if
the center is Britiz and Amisal
this horse
Jaramillo
can hold. I don't love that, but I'm not surprised with Jaramillo.
The reset of the first turn. Running from second position right now is Crystal Coast.
Like we used to say, you don't put Paco up to rate. Same thing with Jaramillo.
Extravagant Rosie to third as Grandma's gets away for then Crystal Coast on the
these
outside.
These 2 bombers are just going to fly here.
From 6 is Lovelorn Lady.
Yeah, 25 and 1.
From 7th to 6th to 5th is Co-C.
This is why I like horses to come off the speed.
And further back in the field, Hardly Social.
On the synthetic.
Yeah. The opening quarter was 25 seconds flat down the backstretch they race. And a battle up front here. Britiz on the
25.
Ellie Gray on the outside. Those 2 are stride for stride.
But there, that's not bad. I mean, mean, that horse last weekend ran 27.
The far turn
Oh, that was insane.
48-4.
Running may have been more like jogging.
On the inside,
Yeah.
Bertiz. On the
6 is
outside,
getting
Ellie
dream
Gray.
trip,
A length
but
and a
he's
half,
hung
two
way
back toward the
wide.
inside, Extravagant Rosie runs
I
Not
from
gonna
think
like
the
that.
nine's got
Nines.
horse.
Lovelorn Lady now takes the third position and comes after the leaders. Angling out for room. Here comes Grandma's Pudding, about 3.5 lengths off the lead.
There's a
Saving
4.
ground toward the inside. Crystal Close is closing
4 is
in.
loaded,
They
man.
were out for the top of the stretch.
4 is
on the
23
outside,
to
Ellie Gray
1.
to a short lead. Still
You're
fighting
gonna
on
have to
his
get through there.
Bertiz.
Nowhere to
On
go.
the outside is Lovelorn
Look at
Lady looking
before
for
it-
room. Crystal Coast. Then
Wow,
we have on the
he's gonna
outside
have to get
Cozy.
outside now.
Now it's Lovelorn Lady who takes the lead after 3/4 in 1:12 and 4. They're
Bombers.
inside the
For the
final furlong.
Bombers
It's
here.
Lovelorn Lady with the lead.
Well, we would have been
Lovelorn
out anyways
Raquel
here, so.
Vasquez, Crystal Coast coming late on the outside. Lovelorn Lady. 3 for
Not even
Miguel
close.
Vasquez as Lovelorn Lady wins it over Crystal.
Who's the jock on the 4? Rendon. That's not a good ride. Not at all a good ride, I would say.
Good ride by Vasquez, and that's only he's not been riding live horses for that for Orseno, or if I'm pronouncing that right. He's only 4% out of 25 rides there. That's when you're a 17% rider, that might be a place typically you're looking for other horses.
It's interesting when you look at the pace there. I mean, the 3 and 5 went to the front, and then the 4 and 9 sat off there. 2, I wondered if that horse was going to be able to rate it all and couldn't. The 4 had a ton of horse. He got that horse in so much traffic.
Yeah.
That's tough there. So Golden Gate, we got 5 minutes.
One of our tickets is dead here. At least.
Yeah.
Because you have the 4 and I have the 1-5, so.
Yeah, that is true. You are right. We differed in our opinion here. So
I'm gonna keep one eye on Aqueduct so I can root for Topher there.
Yeah, let me see here.
Because that's
Gulfstream,
1 minute
they
to
got
post,
5
so it gives us
minutes.
something to watch too.
What yeah, we can so we got an EquinEdge live, and this is the pick 6, Oldy.
Yeah, so 6, 8, 9.
And I'm just trying to all right. So 6, 8, 9. So he's got Breadman the 6, not taking money. Don't necessarily love to see that, but top win percent, and then the second win percent, and then so he's got the top 3 win percent. So 7%. 7 furlongs on the dirt here. A lot of these have been, so these are a bunch of one-time winners. Wow. The 6 is the class. Go ahead.
Sloppy track.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Which is gonna, for anybody planning on playing there, they already moved the stakes race this weekend off of Saturday because the weather was supposed to be so bad. But he's $2 to the 8, and then $1 6, 8, 9, 6, 9.
Yeah, I mean, no real advantages on the wet here. The good thing for him is the 6, 8, 9 all look to be fine on the wet. Their GSR does not change at all. The 6 is Breadman taking no money, so getting off the turf, definitely a turf horse, but that's tough there. I mean, coming off, the 3 is the long shot, 40 Comets. Should run on a wet track, but I hope he wins. I mean, the 9's taking all the money, Vancouver de Oro, so good for him to have the 9 there.
The 3 rocketed to the lead, but the 8's taken over. Now the question is, does any horse want mud kicked in its face?
Yeah, right?
Right? The 9's definitely, it's either going to be 6 or the 8 here. The 6 is coming. 9's really not running.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
For his sake, I'm hoping the 6 just flattens here, but the 3 is finding horse, so that's not a good sign either. Looks like it's going to be the 3, 6, or the 8 might hold on. The 8's got a little more horse here. And down the stretch they come. And I think it's going to be the 8 unless he stops here. And it's the 8, great ticket, Topher. Boom, boom, boom. Got a triple boom for the $2 ticket, or the having that double for $2 there. So I think the will pay was right around 5,800 for that, according to what was on Spires. Good way to start off the weekend. Let's keep the booms going. Magic 8 Ball says boom. I love that, Jeff. Great. So the 8 held on.
Wow, nice.
So we're getting our booms here.
Well, I'm glad that he hit that. I know they're approaching the gate at Golden Gate. You are the 1-5. I am single to the 4. I'm gonna I'm gonna definitely bet my 4 for a win bet here. Floated, the 4 took a lot of money early and then has now floated back up. We'll see what the speed does here. Yeah. But you got probably the 2 favorites, I would guess, when the post time goes off.
Yeah, and again, the late money at Golden Gate.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think to your point. It looks like a beautiful day though in the Bay Area. All right, red lights on. Go ahead.
Even here, it's I was complaining about the weather yesterday, but even here we're sunny and it looks nice at least.
Yeah. We've actually had clear weather in Seattle. It's been really cold all the way down in the 20s already, which is a little bit early. It was crazy. We had weather in the 80s in October, which is just unheard of. And then all of a sudden the fall came, but I think the rain's probably coming at some point. It's just cloudy, but it's been pretty chilly here, to be honest.
Yeah, for us, I mean, it's 41 right now outside, even though it looks gorgeous out.
Well, congrats to Topher. I love when people win, $6K. All right, they're loading here. Let me turn it over to Matt. You got the 1-5. I'm single to the 4.
Scott, I don't know. I haven't really made a time to go to Hawthorne, but if we want to do like an E Chicago or stretch run Chicago get together amongst the people there, we can definitely schedule something for one of these more recent up and coming weekends before all the snow comes and everything like that.
We're ready to go.
Maybe we can get Nate and a few other people out there.
And Lara. Uneventful start. Applaud the bench up on the pace. Work to live aggressively ridden. Moving up to coming.
I did not think the 4 would be anywhere this close to the lead.
Ascendancy 4 deep as she hits the clubhouse.
Right now, the 1 I think is sitting a great trip.
As they round the clubhouse turn.
Yeah, for sure.
The long shot leads the way
right in the pocket. Didn't get shuffled back by being wide. Didn't really have to work hard to get that position.
Paint around the clubhouse.
The 4 then floated. Interesting. Oh, what?
5th and last, 4 lengths off the leader. Applaud the bench.
Spent a lot of energy there, and then came back. But one is holding the horse.
Applaud the bench, the leader by 3.
I mean, 23 and 3.
Work to live still right there on the outside. Naughty Nadine ascendancy.
Pretty quick on.
The 2 favorites, 3rd and 4th, and Costa Rando can see them all at the back of the pack. Still 4 lengths covers the group. and Applaud the Bench continues to go on. Up
48.5.
Work to Live getting closer.
I mean, the 5's sitting a good trip too.
Latch of the leader around the far turn.
The 2 and 3 are gonna stop. The 4 is coming a little bit, but the 5 has a ton of horse. The 1 looks to be loaded as well.
Ascendancy to challenge Work to Live and Applaud the Bench. Those 3 across the track.
My single, I think, is done here. The 5 on the outside, and there's the 1.
Ascendancy is outside. Ascendancy pounces, takes the lead from.
You know how many times I've had a horse hang here?
Side picks up the running into second. Ascendancy, 16th to go. Still
yeah,
there.
you're for
Nadine trying, but she's second best.
Coming, but too late.
2 for 2.
Yeah, no, I don't love that ride at all. I don't know what the I don't know what the job.
A lot of energy early to try to get the lead to not get it.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the plan. Yeah, I mean that horse was toast from the beginning. You can't and then drop back. So I don't know what the 4 was doing there. I don't love that ride at all. I don't know who. Catalina Martinez, interesting. So that's a bummer. We're both live at Del Mar though, into race 3. A couple of nice prices in the first 2 legs. You are singled here at Del Mar, correct? To the 3 horse?
Correct, yeah.
Yes. Okay. And my single comes in the next race. I think it was 120. Yeah, I was 134 here. Trying to beat the 3, knew the 3 would take a lot of money. Big pace advantage right here on the 3. Pratt taking a little money on the 4. And then the 1 was the sneaky horse. Talk about the 1 again a little bit, Oldy.
Yeah, so that's a horse that came in from overseas, lightly raced here in the U.S. Hold on, I'm still on yesterday though. Hold on, let me get on to today.
I mean, Moss Rapido, coming, you see that GSR is not great, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, and not a great GSR. I'm not sure the horse wants to sprint, but the horse was successful before coming over, ran relatively well against a 68 SOR, had it broke well, might have won that race, and just missed by less than 2 lengths. I think the horse can rate. I think there's a lot of speed here, and I have questions about whether the 2 can rate in this situation. So in the lightly raced angle too, I think this horse is eligible to improve. And really, since it came here, it's only been running in stakes races. So this horse must have been pretty highly thought of when it was brought over here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's I think that it really can improve here. This is just a 2-year-old. I think has the potential. Pratt. If the 3 doesn't go, I really do think it's going to be one of these 2 other horses. I wasn't really a fan of the 2 or the 5, but they're also the EquinEdge picks. So it's like this is a pretty wide open race if you don't single the 3. Right? And with that pace there, but the win percentage just show that this race looks fairly wide open with that big pace advantage.
And I guess the question is, are the 5 and the 4 fast enough to keep the 3 from clearing? Leo says he's alive at Gulfstream to the 5 and the 7.
The 5 and the 7. So
I'm pulling up those well pays right now. Well, those are nice will pays.
I like the 5. Good luck, Leo. Yeah, what are the will pays on the 5 and 7?
5. So if you have it for 50 cents, the 5's about 2,500. Nice. But I'd like to get the 7 for him because that's about 14, almost 14.5.
Wow.
Yeah, let's get the 7. The 7 was a horse that was interesting to me there. That was the one that both of its races, it's listed as bolted, and then it switched trainers. So it makes me think that that horse might have had some talent. And there are also a 38% pairing there, even though Meneses isn't a jockey I usually like to play. And he's taking monies 2-1.
Yeah, I mean that horse is the favorite right now. We would love to see that. I mean, nobody probably gonna hit the pick six. A single ticket to the 8 in the rainbow. It looks like one single ticket in the rainbow was the only thing live there. Well, good work advancing. You know, my Golden Gate ticket, the 4 did not run well there at all. But it looks like the 5 and 7 are the picks of the Gulfstream crew. It looks like the 3 showing up a little bit there too. But good luck to Leo. That'd be incredible.
We're bringing the booms on the show, definitely. Between Topher's ticket and now Leo's alive too, the 5 and 7.
Yeah,
it's always awesome. Nice when people are winning. So any football games or anything like that you like this weekend?
You know, I don't know. My Seahawks are like outperforming my highest of expectations I had for them this year. So I will continually root for them as they're in Germany. You know, I think they're playing Tampa Bay and Mr. Brady. But yeah, and I'm not a big college guy, but I think on the NFL, you know, it's been an interesting season. I think like, you know, a lot of these teams that were expected to do well are just not doing well, and then you have a team like the Eagles who's undefeated still, which is pretty incredible with Jalen Hurts. But no, and my fantasy teams are so lately. You know, I play in a really deep league of 14 people in one, and that makes it very tough. But yeah, I'm excited to watch. I don't know if I'll get up super early to watch the Hawks. I'm not sure what time that game is in Germany. But what about you?
So I'm excited for the Bears-Lions. That should be a shootout. Neither team can play any defense. Justin Fields is playing really well. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually looking forward to the Seahawks game because unfortunately I have Josh Allen if he's not going to play this week. I haven't looked at the practice report yet. But Geno Smith is my backup there. And I also have Tyler Lockett. So, you know, I'm very connected to the Seahawks there. And I actually had Rashad Penny too, who got hurt. So I had a lot of Seahawks this year. And I had one team. So I'm mid-pack. I play with Brad Anderson, the former BCBC winner. He's in my league as well. And then I have another league. I was 8-0 going into last week, and I finally got knocked off there. Just barely missed though. But that's a interesting league because it's an IDP league, so defensive points for individual players, and it's also a league that doesn't have any playoffs. So it's straight seasonal record, no playoffs. So you have to, you can't have a lull anywhere. Right now I have a 1-game lead because those teams are very uneven at the top 4 teams, and then the rest of the league are pretty separated at this point.
Yeah, it's that's a big game for Detroit and Chicago, right? Just big competition between both of them.
Between the teams that are usually around last place in the NFC Central. But
yeah, I don't. I was looking there in the chat, like I caught it, and somebody said Geno for MVP. I don't. I mean, yeah, Daniel, the Kraken. You know, I do follow hockey. I mean, they've worse versus worse. Scott, Climate Pledge is an incredible arena. So where the Kraken play used to be formerly Key Arena, and yeah, so that's 6:30 a.m. Chris, my time. But they play. Like the Kraken are great. I love we have hockey. I'm ready for basketball though, Daniel. Like I want Seattle to get our Sonics back and have a basketball team. That's what I'm hoping for. but it's an incredible arena for music and sports. It really is. Like, Gino for MVP, I think that's a reach, Jeff. I really
Yeah.
do. But I mean, good for Gino. Somehow has taken his career back and really been able to, turn it around here and is playing great. I don't really know what can you equate that to. I don't really know. I mean, but the Seahawks are playing well, which I love to see. I hope they keep doing well. So.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking at it, Rich Gannon might be the other guy who had a similar career arc where he was a failed starter and sat on a bench for years, and then just came off and lit the world on fire.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's I mean, I'm surprised with Gino, just though, because he struggled so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he really struggled when he was in New York, had limited kind of glimpses, right? So I am a little surprised that he all of a sudden has been able to like turn it around like that. Like I don't know, but again, I like best of luck to him. Like I mean, I hope that they kind of keep turning it around and everything. So it's and the Seahawks are leading the division, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it just kind of blows my mind. And I was really happy to see them trade Russell, just because I felt like he was really going downhill here in Seattle. And, whether it's great to see Gino playing well, but, Russell has not done much in Denver. And we were able to get some draft picks back because the Seahawks gave up so many draft picks when they traded for Jamal Adams. Like, it really hurt them. So it's good to see that. Let Gino cook, right?
No, and I don't know if it's Russ or if it's the fact that Nathaniel Hackett has no idea what he's doing in Denver.
Yeah,
I know it could be a combination of both. I know Nathaniel Hackett has no idea what he's doing.
I watched that first game, right? I think it was against Seahawks when Denver and Seattle was playing. I'm like, what? How did this guy get the job? Like, I couldn't believe it. I'm glad I'm not a Denver fan for sure. Like, I'm with you there.
Yeah, I mean, he was a bad offensive coordinator in Jacksonville, and then got the Green Bay gig where he wasn't calling plays. But I don't know, and Jeff, Denver is a dumpster fire. I mean, you look at also what's going on in Indy, where they hired a coach who has zero coaching experience. They have nobody on the staff who's ever called plays. That could be just an absolute train wreck.
Yeah, and for sure.
And the I can lead men comment from Jeff Saturday concerns me. That's the reason they hired in Detroit. They hired Dan Campbell, and he's like I think he's 6 for 29 or something like that. So being able to lead is one thing, but if you can't handle the strategy side, you're going to lose a lot of games.
Yeah. No, for sure. All right, Delmar.
Yeah,
this is you're still live at Golden Gate. We're both out at Gulfstream, but Leo, did we miss? Oh no, Gulfstream's got 8 minutes. So
Gulfstream's after,
So we're gonna cover, so we got Delmar here, and then we have Gulfstream, and then we'll watch race 3 at Golden Gate, and then we'll close it out for today. But this has been incredible, man. This has been so much fun. Like, such a great show. I mean, really looking forward to you and I think love to hear from the chat, as they approach the gate here at Del Mar. We can spend time talking together about NFL. Oldy, I appreciate you bringing that up, but anything, if you guys would love to, anything specific, whether it's sports, gambling, like, obviously within reason, but, we'd love to, have a little segment here and there to be able to cover stuff, as we, handicap and watch horses that we all love. But yeah, Jeff, and appreciate that. Hit that like button. We'll be back next Friday. Stretch Run will be here as we head into the weekend as well at 2 p.m. Eastern. But we'll close out these next few races. Root for Leo, right, at Gulfstream.
We gotta get Leo home.
Yeah, I would love to see that, Jeff. Man, if you were local in Seattle, I might be able to help you, but that's a tough one.
Scotty's joked about the dating site.
Yeah.
But we've amazingly haven't seen any of our spammer friends in here today either. Knock on wood.
Yeah, no,
either.
that's good.
Otherwise, they might have some friends for you, Scott or Jeff. I'm
Chris,
sorry.
Chris, no, it's a good point. We're gonna do that. I mean, I think Scotty did that for Breeders' Cup, right? And I know they're loading here at Del Mar. I'm 134. You're single to the 3, but we're gonna put that in. We're gonna start doing that on shows as we go forward. Now that we're getting going, working out a schedule. So they're out of the gate.
They're off. The 3 cleared.
Yeah, he did with ease.
The 5 took back, which surprised me.
And now is
rushing up.
Rushing. 1 got off the rail. We talked about the 1 a lot of being able to potentially run here is sitting just a beautiful trip. It's going to be interesting though of how good the 3 is here. But the 1 got a great trip, got off the rail. 5-1 is running.
Got it. I don't know that the 3 is going to have enough left here.
The 2, the 3 looks like he's game though.
Scott horse, yeah.
The 2 is coming. The 3 drifted out there. The 2 gonna win. Yeah.
Yeah. I will give credit to Chris Walsh. He liked the 2 there.
Yeah, that's a tough race. His second EquinEdge pick made a lot of sense.
Just stopped mid-stretch.
Yeah, I wondered if that would happen. I obviously probably missed that there. The 2 was the one to sit the trip off the speed, and I talked about that kind of in the beginning. They went really fast. I don't know.
No, they didn't. That's pretty slow at 5 furlongs on the turf.
Yeah, you can see they went, just under 46 there, but 22-3 and then 45-3. But yeah, to your point, they maybe. That wasn't terrible. Allowance company 66. 2 ran great there. So
yeah.
All right. Leo needs the 2 and 7, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And let's see.
Or 5 and 7, not 2. 5 and 7.
Yeah. And while we're waiting on that, Chris, we did talk to we've had the conversation about having guests with the producer. It's definitely in our plans. We think it'll enhance it, but on the short week, it was difficult to be able to line that kind of stuff up in terms of the changes that have to be made to the broadcast piece.
Yeah, so would love anybody who has interest in topics and stuff. We'll start to weave that in each week, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think as we continue forward, and especially as we enter into in the fall here for Derby preps, there'll be a lot I think to talk about, but also got NBA and football going at the same time as baseball's ended. There's all types of, I think, opportunities to come and just have some, great guests and discussions. So never a single Tyler base. Yeah. That horse just stopped. It seemed to get somewhat of an easy lead. And to your point, Oldy, maybe that wasn't all that fast to fractions, but
yeah, there was no reason for the 3 to stop there.
So they're headed on to the synthetic. We're rooting for the 5 or 7 for Leo. He'd look to go too fast, Chris. To your point, but I don't know. It seemed to get a fairly easy lead there, but maybe the 1 just put a lot of pressure, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
5-7.
Choice on the board right now, 3-1 for number 3, Smart and Sharp with Edgar Perez. Right behind that one at 7-2 is the 7, Coal Miners Kitten with jockey Marcos Meneses. 5-1 for both the outside pair of Preston Murray and Super Spreader right now. Into the gate goes Napa Dude, and here comes Smart and Sharp with Edgar Perez. Napa Dude and Edgar Zayas locked away. Smart and Sharp steps up.
Didn't Zayas have like 6 wins on Saturday?
Yeah, last week. I don't know if that was Saturday or Friday or whatever day. Yeah, it was. Yeah, whatever day it was. It might have been Friday.
Smart and Sharp goes in. Here comes
because
Smooth
we covered
Motion with Miguel Vasquez.
Gulfstream Friday. I think you're right. It was Saturday. He was on fire. I mean, he really was.
Smooth Motion in the gate.
Next
up will be Coal Miners Kitten with
to our listeners too, or watchers, whatever you want to call yourselves. The watcher, I guess, is not a great term these days after the Watcher TV show. But you know, if you guys have any ideas or there's things you want to hear discussed on the show, reach out to us.
In the world.
We're both very open-minded as to what we discuss on the show, and whether it's race sequences, sports, life, the whole deal. So.
And they're off and running to a pretty decent dispatch from the inside. Smart and Sharp pokes through with an early lead. Toward the inside, Napa Dude comes on, and toward the
5
outside,
and
Preston
7,
Murray.
both sitting great trips here.
As they make their way into the first turn, and out wide Super Spreader.
7 got over really nicely there.
And toward the inside,
yeah, I mean, just sitting off the speed here.
And now take third on the inside.
5 sitting back.
As they round the turn and head for the back stretch.
I do wonder if they're going to be setting a little bit slow fractions here, though. No, it's almost 25.
24 and 4/5 seconds. Down the backstretch they go. Napa Dude chose
5
away by a length.
dream
Smart
trip,
and Sharp
man,
in between horses
there.
from second. Preston Murray up on the outside is in a
7
stocking
too, though.
position.
I mean,
in third position, also
sitting
in a
right
position.
off all
Coal
that
Miners
speed. There's
Kitten
the
is a close-up
5. I
fourth.
mean,
Then it's a gap of
5
1
got a
back to
great
Super
trip
Spreader
with all this speed
in
up
fifth,
front.
and Smooth Motion in sixth.
And the 3 and 9 moved just enough to make the 1
but only about
not
7
be able to relax
lead
there.
after a half and 49 and 3/5 seconds down the back stretch.
Heading
For the far turn now. Napa Dude still shows the way over Smart and Sharp and Preston Murray. Those two right together, second and third still.
He's
And up on the
nicely.
outside, Smooth Motion comes on and closes
Nine's
in
done.
from that
I
fourth
mean,
spot
I don't.
now.
It's going to
Also
be
looking to
5
tack
or
on
1.
from
The
back is
10
Super
though, I
Spreader,
guess
then toward the
10's coming
inside,
as
Coal
well.
Miners Kitten. The
Come
frequent
on,
time
5.
was 1:14 and 1. Arriving at the top of the stretch, Napa Dude has the lead. Now he has another guest on the outside. It's Smooth Motion, who draws alongside.
Don't
Napa
hang.
Dude
7.
Don't hang.
7's going to try to come too here, but come on, 7.
It's
Beat the
Super
10.
Spreader coming down the center of the track.
The 7 is.
Also is
No,
Man.
he went really wide there.
Gonna be Super Spreader, who draws away.
You like
late.
that 10
Super
though. We
Spreader to
talked
win
about
it.
that 10.
Smooth Motion was second.
Yeah. That's a bummer though for Leo. I would have loved to have seen that. That the 7 was running with his head up and was green out there, and I mean the 7 was having a lot of trouble.
I don't think
bummer.
like being trapped on the rail either.
Yeah, correct. I'm with you there. So, all right, we got one more to close it out. Golden Gate race 3. You're still live here though. But
I'm on here, which occasionally comes back and haunts me.
So remind me your ticket, Oldy.
So everything but the 5 here.
No, help me just so I can show
1, 2, 3.
What were you in the first leg?
1, 2, 1, 4, 6, 1, 5.
Okay. 1, 5. Hold on, I just got it. I'm locked back on mine here. 1, 5. What were you in the all to 1?
All but the 5.
Oh, okay. And then
1, 2, 5 through 7 in the last.
1, 2, 6. That's your ticket, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, good luck here. You're all but 5. Well, look at that. And you get second and third. That's the worst. It just really is.
Yeah.
So Golden Gate, a lot of winners here. I mean, bottom level claimer though, from I thought the 4 and 7 might duel here on the front end. I don't love the 4 here as the favorite like at all. The 3 is going to be coming late. It's taking a lot of money. You got William Anton Georgi riding for Bill McLean, 15%. I also, the 1, I think could sit off here, can rate off the speed. I thought the 1 was really interesting. And then again, I thought the 3 was, the 2 as well. I mean, dropping, this horse can be coming off the pace, but would you like best here, Oldy?
So I like the 4, obviously, but let me pull my notes up real fast here. So I liked the 4, but the 1 I think was my top pick here. So the 1, the 4, and then I also like the 3 a little bit, and the 2.
Yeah. This is for sure wide open, though. I mean, this is a tough little race. Looks like we still got about 1 minute.
Yeah, and Kevin's asking if we do the Derby futures. And, I haven't done it yet this year.
Yeah, I have not either.
I did play a few last year, and I, in the last pool, played all other 3-year-olds. So I ended up hitting on Rich Strike it wasn't at a Rich Strike like price. I want to say it was about 18-1 instead of it was either 18 or 12-1. I don't remember for certain, but instead of what was Rich Strike, 72-1, something like that.
Yeah.
But it ended up being good coverage as a just in case everything goes haywire.
I do think here at Golden Gate, the 3 and 5 are both a little bit interesting. I don't know if either could really win, but I would say in verticals, if this 4 and 7, the 4 being, Jonathan Wong, pretty chalky, the system didn't love the 6, but if the 4 stops, the 3 or 5 both could get up for a chance here, and the 3 is 15%. I mean, Foggy Bottom being the EquinEdge long shot, I think for sure has a shot here. I'm with you on the 1 though. I really like the 1. I like a 1-3 exacta box, or the 1 over the 3-5 even. I might play a 3-5 even over the 1, and it's I think there's potential value here in this race though, just because there's a lot of speed here that I think is going to happen with the 4 and 7.
Yeah, I do think that could end up being a speed duel on the front end there. And that's why I actually like the 1, is I thought the 1 might be in the perfect position to clean up the pieces there.
Yeah, I'm with you. EquinEdge had it 3-1 morning line, got bet a little bit, but still getting a lot of value here.
And I have a note on the horse back from August that says stalked wide, got up late. I think that's exactly the trip we're that's exactly the trip we're looking for here.
Shanghai Miss to round out the field. We're ready to go. And we're off. Benson sent hard for speed. Bright Tan put into play early. She's aggressively ridden into second with Shanghai Mist. Running Luck inside of those two, easing back to fourth. But Benson has control on the lead and clears off. So it's Benson, the pacemaker.
I guess the question now is the 4
Shanghai Mist into second.
Going
running
too fast.
Third alongside of Bright Tan. That duo pulls 2 lengths
clear.
I mean,
7's likely to continue to press, but the 4 definitely was the speed there.
Onto the back stretch. It's the favorite, Benson, on top.
It's pretty quick, 24 flat.
Still tracking.
It was also the difference in terms of the post, too.
The 3 is going to come flying here. If they keep going this fast, I mean, the 7 is pressing the 4 now. Probably tried to save a little bit of energy, Benson, but
Shanghai Mist on her tail in the second position. Running Luck, Bright Tan.
Was able a
continue to
little
run as a
bit, but they
pair.
went
Running Luck
48
getting
and
a little
2.
bit
I mean,
closer
the
up the
one
fence.
sitting there.
Bright Tan stays in the
Here
clear
comes the
3
2.
wide. Aristea still racing alone in 5th. Kitty Be Quick under pressure now. And
You're right. The 3 is flying. I just don't know that.
9 lengths to gain. And 5
The one
16
sitting,
of a
great
mile.
trip,
It's
man. Get
Benson
through
still
one.
on
Come
top,
on,
a length
baby.
in front.
Come
On
on.
the
Get
outside,
out.
Shanghai Mist in the 3 path. Running Luck tips outside and comes to split that
Come on,
pair
one.
off the turn, but Benson maintains
5 to
the lead
1
at the
here.
top of the lane. Running Luck putting up a challenge
Come on.
on the outside.
Get up, one.
And those two come down the lane together. Running Luck on the outside. Benson inside trying to fight back.
Get up,
But Running
baby.
Luck has a nose in
Oh,
front.
it's going to be
Benson
close,
second from the
man.
inside. Bright
Here
I
comes the
think
6
one
late.
has it,
I think
though.
the 6 might.
Running
Nope,
Luck
the 1's got it.
close.
Yeah,
Boom.
that's very nice. That's a boom. A good way to, you know, the 3 or 5 I thought might get up for second, but well, nicely done. You're still alive. Well done. I mean, that was a great trip there, just like we called it. Sit off the speed, right? And able to just kind of swoop around there.
And all you can ask for is that you play your spread legs right to give your single a chance, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I totally agree. You know, well done. Yes, boom. That was a good boom. And how about a way to just end the show? You know, I mean, with a winner, that's awesome. It really is. Oldy, it's been a pleasure. We'll be live again. Stretch Run. We'll be back heading into next weekend, same time, right? Right around 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll coordinate around post time. It's been great. You know, any parting words from you?
I just want to say it's been awesome, and I want to thank everybody in the community and the people watching for the support. And we look forward to seeing you next week and talking to you during the week as well.
Yeah, hit us up on Twitter. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
We'll have more coverage next week. Make sure tune in. You know, coaching classes from EquinEdge. We're on Twitter. You know, feel free to hit us up. It's been awesome. We'll be around.
Hey, Justin, does Scotty have a show we should plug tomorrow too?
Yeah, that's a good question. I didn't, you know, it's actually where I was headed. I don't know if he's doing a show this week. Obviously, Golden Hour is not in play. So, you know, look on Twitter from EquinEdge. He may still be in a show. He may still be doing a show, though. I'm not sure. I didn't get a chance to check. So, you know, for everybody, check Twitter. He may be doing something. I'm not sure, though.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
It was a pleasure. Have a good weekend, all.
All right. Talk to you soon, everybody.
Bye.